Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to Let's Start Story on What If Ino Tries to Get Naruto to Forgive Her Part 2. So do 4 blue hearts comment, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video and please share with your friends and watch till end. Also check out Patreon for I have upload Naruto X Rias and Akino uncensored spicy version, link in description. Naruto had yet to let her hand go. The two teens sat in a deathly silence. Neither one of them knowing what to say. All Ino could think about was the kiss that happened a few minutes ago. She had no idea what Naruto was thinking. He was most likely thinking about the same thing. Ino stood up from the bed. She then walked over to the window. Naruto could only stare after her. You just kissed me. Oh my god. What are we going to do? Naruto realized that the aftermath of the kiss was starting to get to her. He wouldn't be surprised if she was close to having a meltdown. The Platinum BL Own seemed to be close to going over the edge. He watched as she started pacing back and forth. Ino-chan, you kissed me back. At this, Ino stopped pacing. She had not forgotten that she had indeed kissed him back. The kiss had caught her by surprise. However, she would be lying if she said the kiss hadn't felt wonderful to her. That was my first kiss, Naruto admitted. She turned back around to face him. Naruto was not looking at her. He seemed completely focused on his hands for some reason. Really? She asked. Yeah, he nodded. Hey, do you want to know something? You weren't bad for not having kissed someone before. That was the best kiss I ever had, she told him. When she said this, he looked up to meet Ino's gaze. Wow, really? Yeah, and I've only been kissed once in my life. Who would have thought, huh? Uzumaki Naruto shares his first kiss with Yamanaka Ino. Yeah, Naruto nodded. I wouldn't have ever thought so. I always wanted my first kiss to be with Sakura. I know. I'm sorry. It's okay. You were only being honest, Naruto. I think that I should go. She started for the door. Naruto knew that he couldn't let her leave this way. They had things that they needed to discuss. Things like their relationship, and where was it headed now? What were they going to do? Ino-chan, please don't go, at least not yet, anyway. Give me a reason why I should stay. We have to talk. We just kissed. I think that this is something worth talking about. That kiss. She started. What can I say? It was an amazing kiss. I don't know what else to say. Now what, Ino-chan? What are we going to do now? We can't pretend that it didn't happen. Ino knew that her spiky-headed friend had a point. And as much as she wanted to disappear right now, she knew that she couldn't. They really did have to talk. They had done something that they weren't supposed to do. The two blondes had shared a kiss. It wasn't just any kiss either. It was the sort of kiss that a real couple would share. The only problem was that they were not a real couple. They were just friends. Hi, you're right. We can't pretend that we didn't kiss. But do you want my honest opinion? Of course I want your honesty, Ino-chan. The platinum blonde folded her arms across her chest. She closed her eyes for a moment and leaned up against the wall. After a few moments of silence, she opened her eyes. The blue-eyed girl stared directly at him. I don't think that you meant to kiss me like that. You probably got caught up in the moment or something. Huh? He questioned. Well, weren't you just trying to get me to shut up? What better way than to kiss me, right? What? He wondered. Tell me this, Naruto. Who were you really thinking about when you kissed me? Naruto didn't quite understand what she was getting at. It sounded like she was trying to say that he wasn't really thinking about her when they kissed. Ino, what the hell kind of question is that? Well, whom were you thinking about? I think that you were probably wishing that I was Sakura or something. Naruto held his mouth open in slight disbelief. Was Ino being serious? Of course, he hadn't been thinking of Sakura during their kiss. The only person he was thinking about at the time was her. Sakura hadn't even crossed his mind. Ino-chan, it's alright, she whispered. I understand. You don't have to explain anything to me, I get it. It pained Ino to have to say those words. Nevertheless, whom was she fooling? Even if she did admit her feelings to Naruto, what good would it do her? He had to still be hung up on Sakura. Those kinds of feelings didn't just die overnight. I'm sorry for the kiss. She apologized. It probably shouldn't have happened anyway. She wishes that it never happened. I'm going to go now, Naruto. I'll see you around. Maybe we can both try to put this behind us. She opened the door, then turned her attention back onto him. She gave him a sad smile. Bye. Wait. It was too late. The platinum blonde was gone from sight. I didn't get the chance to give you your gift. He sighed sadly, then laid down on his bed. Ino was gone, and for some reason he didn't have the strength to get up and go after her. Ino stood there for a minute gazing up into the sky. I know that the kiss meant something to me. But I was right in not getting my hopes up. He still wants forehead, we both know it. She walked away from his apartment, not looking back once. All she thought about was the kiss. Ino could still feel his lips there. She had never dreamed a kiss could feel so wonderful. She hadn't even imagined that Naruto would end up being the one that she would kiss. It had all been so very unexpected. It doesn't matter anymore, she decided. Back in his apartment, Naruto sat, staring at the gift he had purchased for the platinum blonde. He had really wanted to give it to her. He wanted to see the look on her face when he presented her with the gift. The blonde male was sure that she was going to love it. The only thing on Naruto's mind was the blue-eyed girl. He thought about everything they had been through over the last few months. Him telling her about the Kyuubi fighting alongside her against that stranger, spending so much time together that it resulted in them growing closer each day. How can I fix this if Ino thinks that I didn't want to kiss her? She thin. KS that I don't want to make this thing real, but I do. He twirled the butterfly necklace in his fingers. The color blue reminded him of her eyes. It was pretty just like her. Everything seemed to lead to her. She was here with him right now even if it wasn't in person. He felt her presence. It was like she was haunting him or something. Ino. He whispered. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about this now. I'd better go get that shower. Quote. Ino entered the house to see her mother sitting on the couch. Mrs. Yamanaka looked up to see her daughter. She gave her a smile. Hello dear, how was your day? Did you have fun? Sure, Mom. She lied. Mrs. Yamanaka heard the tone in her daughter's voice. There was clearly something wrong. Okay, tell me what's wrong. Wrong, she repeated. Why do you think that there's something wrong? Ino's mother gave her a knowing look. She motioned for Ino to have a seat besides her. Ino did as her mother asked. So what's wrong, Ino honey? The blue-eyed girl sighed. She knew that her mother would want to know what she was feeling right this moment. Mom, I have a problem. Yes, I can see that. I'm your mother, so tell me what's wrong. Well, I'm a girl that had feelings for a guy. That has feelings for someone else. Ino could think of no other way to sum up the story. That was pretty much it in a nutshell. She had feelings for a boy that had feelings for someone else. You're talking about your feelings for Naruto-kun. Did you finally come to terms with them? Yeah, Ino nodded. I mean, I guess that I just wasn't aware of them at first. Ma, I knew for a while and I just didn't want to admit them. I was scared, I supposed. The older blonde nodded in understanding. It was the same for your father and I. It took us both a while to come to terms with our feelings for one another. Maybe so, Mom, but this is different. Our situations are not the same. Naruto still likes Sakura. He's always liked her. You didn't have another girl in picture when you were trying to be with Daddy. I can't even begin to compete with that. I know when something is a losing battle. Ino's mother frowned at her daughter's pessimism. Where did all the self-confidence go? Did it somehow get thrown out of the window? She hated to see her daughter sound so down. As a mother, it truly hurt her. Ino-chan, I didn't raise you to have such low self-esteem. Don't speak of yourself like you're second best. In this situation, Mom, I am. If I told how I really feel, I don't think that it would matter. It wouldn't matter because I'm not her. You are not second best, dear. I had a feeling from the start that you two would be good for each other. In many ways you and Naruto-kun remind me of your father and I when we were younger. Well, Inoichi might have been a bit more nervous than Naruto. The blue-eyed girl raised an eyebrow in a suspicious manner. She couldn't picture her father being nervous about anything. It was one of those things that she could just never imagine happening. Daddy was nervous. I doubt that. Mrs. Yamanaka chuckled. It was a long time ago. Ino-chan, why don't you give it a chance? You may find that he feels the exact same way that you do. Ino shook her head indicating a no. She wanted to be able to trust in her mother's words. Yet, she found that she couldn't. I can't. I don't want to get hurt. She admitted. Ino, did you ever think that perhaps he doesn't want to get hurt either? One of you has to make the first move, otherwise, no one will be happy. You'll be stuck wondering what if for the rest of your lives. She became silent once more. She began debating on whether or not she should tell her mother about what happened today. Ino still couldn't get that kiss out of her mind. What's wrong, dear? He and I, we kissed. Really? Well, now doesn't that show you that his feelings are mutual? I'm sure that Naruto-kun wouldn't just kiss you for no good reason. How did you feel about the kiss? The younger blonde stood up from the couch. There was a somewhat far-off look in her eyes. She had her back turned to her mother for a moment. She took a second to gather her thoughts. Ino then turned back around to look at her mother. Mom, it was the most amazing kiss that I've ever had. I can't even start to describe in words how it made me feel. I wanted that kiss to last forever. I would, indeed, have minded to feel his lips against mine again. I understand, Ino-chan. You must really like him a lot. I do. Ino nodded. Naruto is one of a kind. He's fun, sweet, and once you get to him it's very hard to forget about him. He's special. She finished. Then you need to tell him just how you feel. No. Ino shook her head. I told you, Mom, I don't stand a chance against his feelings for Sakura. It doesn't matter that we kissed when his heart belongs to someone else. Mom, thanks for the talk, but I kind of want to be alone now. All right, dear, I understand. The platinum blonde walked up the stairs to her room. She closed the door and sat down on her bed. The conversation with her mother had been an interesting one. Her mother seemed to believe that Naruto had feelings for her as well. She only saw herself as his friend. Ino didn't think that Naruto liked her in that way. Sure, they had been through a lot together. However, in her heart, she felt that Naruto still had feelings for Sakura, and there was no way all of those feelings he had for the pink-haired teen could be gone. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be Naruto's second choice. It's better that I don't tell him how I really feel. Meanwhile, Naruto decided that he would go back out to Ichiraku's. He was feeling a little on the depressed side. And there was nothing better than a bowl of ramen. It was his answer to any problem. Hey Naruto, where are you headed? He soon heard a familiar voice. Oh, hi Iruka-sensei. I was just going to get some ramen at Ichiraku's. Okay, that sounds good. I'll join you if you don't mind. No, I don't mind. The sensei and his former student sat down together. Iruka could see that there was something on Naruto's mind. It didn't take a genius to figure that out. Naruto, what's wrong? Wrong, he whispered. What makes you think that there's something wrong? Because you barely touched your ramen. Therefore, I know that there's something wrong. Iruka is right, Naruto, you seem down. Chuki noticed. Naruto swirled his chopsticks around in his food. He sighed to himself. Iruka knew him very well. Of course, he would be able to tell that something was wrong. Do you remember the talk we had a while back, Iruka-sensei? Sure, I do. Well, things just got a little more complicated. We kissed. Iruka smiled for his former student. Is that such a bad thing? You seem depressed almost. Was it a bad kiss? No, not at all. Naruto spoke. It was great and I enjoyed it. I just don't know what to do now. I don't think she wants a relationship with me. I don't think she returns my feelings. Naruto, you won't know unless you ask her. By sitting here like this you'll never know for sure. She thinks that I didn't want to kiss her. She thinks that I still have feelings for someone else. Iruka nodded in understanding. Naruto finally decided to eat some of his ramen. It took a moment, but Chuki had remembered something. Oh yes, Yuto Ino-chan came in here looking for you earlier. I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Chuki-san. I'm caught up with her a little while ago. Iruka began to see that Ino was the girl that Naruto was talking about. Naruto, is it Ino? Is she the one that you have feelings for? Naruto only nodded. Yeah, I guess I didn't want to really acknowledge my feelings for her. Or maybe I always had them and just never realized it. But now I know for sure that I do have them. And she still thinks that you have feelings for someone else. Well, Naruto, how do you feel about this other girl? Do you still have feelings for her? I'm afraid that you're the only one that can answer those questions. Naruto knew that Iruka was right. Iruka-sensei, the only thing I know for sure is that I like Ino-chan. There's more to her than I first thought. She's so much more than just a pretty girl. She always speaks her mind, she has so much determination, and she's hard to forget. The brown-haired male finished up his ramen and then turned to the blonde. It looks like you have your answer. You should find her so that you can tell her how you feel. No, Haruka-sensei, I can't. I already told you that I don't think she returns my feelings. And I told you that you won't know until you ask her. After we kissed Haruka-sensei, she said that it shouldn't have happened. So, she must not like me the same way. I can't tell her. I don't want to get rejected, not again, not like before with Sakura-chan. It all began to make perfect sense to Haruka. Naruto was reluctant because he didn't want to get rejected. And he seemed downright afraid to ask Ino how she really felt. This wasn't the Naruto that he knew at all. Naruto, you can't let that minor detail stop you. You've never let anything stop you before. Haruka-sensei, I'm just not sure. I don't want to go screwing things up further. I don't know what to do. So, you're just going to sit back and wonder, what if, for the rest of your life? That's not who you are, Naruto. Before Naruto could say anything, someone's voice was heard. Haruka-kun, I thought that I heard your voice. Naruto and Haruka looked up to see Shizune standing there. Oh hello, Shizune-chan. Hey you. Oh hello, Naruto-kun. Hey Shizune-chan. Are you looking for Haruka because you two have a date planned or something? Both adults blushed slightly, turning their attention elsewhere. Naruto's question was already answered. Well, Shizune started. If you must know Naruto, the answer is yes. Naruto nodded, giving his former teacher the thumbs up. Way to go Shizune-chan, Haruka-sensei. I knew it. I should go, I don't want to ruin your date. I'll see you both later, enjoy. Naruto waved goodbye to Haruka and Shizune, then left Ichiraku's. For the most part, he wandered around the village with no particular goal. He thought more about his conversation with Haruka. He wanted to try and make things work with Ino. But what was the point if she wasn't even going to bother listening to him? Naruto felt that this was another losing battle. Before he realized it, he was standing outside of Ino's house. He was trying to decide whether or not he should go in. He felt that their earlier conversation had been cut short. And there was still the gift that he had wanted to give to her. He stared up at the house, not realizing that Ino could see him from her window. Naruto. What is he doing out there? Naruto stood there for a few minutes longer before heading back to his own apartment. A part of Ino wanted to call out to him. Nonetheless, she decided not to. Naruto. She whispered to no one. That night in bed, the platinum blonde laid awake in bed. She found it very hard to get to sleep. She turned over and tried to sleep in different positions, only nothing seemed to be working. Damn, what the hell is wrong with me? Ino knew where her mind was. Her mind was with Naruto. He seemed to be the only thing that she could really think about. He's always on my mind no matter what I do. Did I maybe make a mistake today? Should I have just told him the rest of what I was feeling? Ino was all mixed up. She wasn't sure about what she should have done. If she had told him, one of two things would have happened. He would have either returned her feelings, or he would have rejected her in a gentle manner. She doubted if he would have rejected her harshly. Also, maybe on some level Ino wasn't quite ready to admit her feelings to him. She knew that they existed. But she simply couldn't bring herself to tell him yet. Maybe at this rate she would never be ready. She feared the rejection. Why would he want me when he could have Sakura? That was one of the reasons why we started this whole thing. She sighed. I just never expected to fall for him. What am I going to do? Ino whispered. Ino's dream. The young woman felt a gentle breeze fill her room. She was pretty sure that she had closed that window. She opened her eyes when she felt a warm hand on her cheek. She looked up to see Naruto standing there. She instantly sat up. She was more than surprised to see him standing there. Naruto, what are you doing here? Hi Ino-chan, I know that it's late but I had to stop by. We need to talk. Ino motioned for him to sit down beside her. She moved over and he sat down across from her. So what's up? We should have talked more earlier, Ino-chan. You left so fast we didn't really get the chance to. Ino only nodded. She knew that Naruto wasn't about to let this conversation go so easily. Why did you run away from me, Ino-chan? I wasn't really running away from you, Naruto. But you did. We kissed and you left me. Why did you leave like that? Ino sat with her arms around her knees. She avoided the second blonde's gaze. Naruto, you don't understand. I was overwhelmed. I wasn't expecting for us to kiss. Do you think that I was a mistake, Ino? Is that why you ran away from me, from us? What? No, I don't know. It felt too right to be called a mistake. But Naruto, She was cut off when the whisker-faced boy pulled her into another kiss. The platinum blonde did nothing to stop him. She wrapped her arms around his waist, pulling him ever so closer to her. Moments later, he ended their kiss by pulling away. How did that feel? It felt too good to stop, right, Ino-chan? Do you still want to run away from us? I'm scared, Ino whispered. You're scared, he repeated. Scared of what? Of me, the Kyuubi, what? No, I'm not scared of you or the Kyuubi. I'm scared to give you all of my heart. I'm scared that you would choose Sakura over me in a heartbeat. I don't want to be hurt, Naruto. She shouted at him. Naruto looked taken aback. He saw the tears in Ino's eyes. All of her emotions were taking over and rushing to the surface. He leaned over and hugged her, wrapping his arms around her in a tight embrace. I'm not going to hurt you. You can't promise me that. He pulled away from her and wiped the tears out of her eyes. I can't make you see reason, can I? I suppose that you're just going to have to come to terms with it yourself. Ino watched as Naruto walked away from her. Naruto, wait. I better go, Ino-chan. But I'm going to leave. That's what you want, isn't it? You want me to leave. You're too afraid of us, aren't you? Bye. No, Naruto. The blonde girl awoke from her dream. She sat up in bed, all of her thoughts on her dream. She sighed to herself. That dream felt so real. It felt like he was actually here. She put her finger to her lips while her mind was still on her dream. A part of her wanted that dream to be real. She wished that Naruto was here with her right now. She wanted to feel his lips pressed against hers again. Was that really so much to hope for? Was she simply living in some type of fantasy world? Naruto would never be hers if he still wanted to be with Sakura. Ino knew that this was a losing battle. She found that she didn't have the will to fight. I can't tell him not. When I don't stand a chance. She whispered. The platinum blonde fell back into her bed and closed her eyes. She had no idea that her blonde counterpart was having his own problems sleeping as well. Naruto gazed into the ceiling. The only things on his mind was his conversation with Iruka and a certain blue-eyed girl. His mind seemed to race to her. He found himself wondering if she was all right. Was there a chance that she might be thinking of him too? Naruto knew that Iruka had made some valid points during their discussion. He would have to prove to Ino that his feelings were real. And that they did indeed exist. But there was another problem. Naruto did not wish to be hurt either. And by the way Ino sounded earlier, she regretted their kiss. She kissed me back. If she didn't want to, she wouldn't have kissed me back. Unless she felt sorry for me. Naruto didn't know what to think anymore. Sure, there was the possibility that her feelings were mutual. And again there was the possibility that she didn't feel the same way that he did. Yet, that kiss had felt so right. How could she not feel the same things that he did? There was so much on his mind he didn't know where to begin. He closed his eyes and finally started to drift off to sleep. Naruto's dream. He found himself in the special flower field that Ino liked to go to. He saw the platinum blonde standing there with her back turned to him. Hey Ino-chan. She didn't respond to him, instead she remained standing with her back facing him. What's wrong? She finally turned around. Her aqua-colored orbs staring into his cerulean blue pools. Naruto. She whispered. Are you okay? Do you want me? She asked honestly. He stood there for a moment, just watching her. The shorter blonde walked over to him. She placed her arms around his shoulders. I asked you a question, Naruto-kun. Do you want me? He didn't answer her right away. He looked down at her, putting his arms around her waist. Yes. He answered. Yes, I want you. She then pulled away from him. If you want me, then you have to fight for me. You have to prove to me that I'm really the one that you want. Naruto blinked. So that's what you want, Ino-chan. You want me to fight for you? Yeah. She nodded. I want you to fight for us. We'll never be together if you don't. I have to know what I'm fighting for, Ino. Why should I be the only one fighting for us? You're the one who regrets our kiss. Ino flinched at his words. Didn't you ever think that maybe I said that for a reason? Huh, what reason? If you can't figure it out, then I'm not going to bother with telling you. The blue-eyed girl turned around and began walking away. Hey wait, I'm going to go. But I don't want you to go. I'm sorry, she whispered. Ino-chan And with that the young man awoke from his latest dream. Naruto sat up in bed, his hair falling into his eyes. A sigh escaped the blonde-haired boy. He wondered if maybe there was some truth to that dream. What's her reason? He whispered. A few days later a certain whisker-faced youth was sitting up on the Hokage monument. He liked to come up here to think, and right now he needed the time alone. He had a lot on his mind. A gentle breeze filled the air. It was yet another beautiful day. It's really nice today. The weather was perfect, but other aspects in life weren't. He hadn't seen Ino at all in the last few days. He found that he missed her. It was as if she had vanished from the village, either that or she was completely avoiding him because of their kiss. He hated it if that was what she was doing. Ino, he thought. He closed his eyes for a moment. He allowed himself to enjoy the cool, gentle breeze blowing through his blonde locks. Just as he was getting lost in his own thoughts, he heard his name. Naruto. Naruto. He turned around to see none other than the pink-haired medic Nin. He wasn't really expecting to see her here. He didn't want anyone to show up at this moment. Naruto found that he had enjoyed the peace. He wanted this time to sit and reflect. He couldn't be rude now, however, so he managed to give her a warm smile. Hey, Sakura-chan. Hi, Naruto. There was a moment of silence. Another gentle breeze passed by. Naruto stared up into her jade-green pools. There was no reason why she couldn't stay. Naruto decided that his peaceful reverie was over. Why don't you sit? He suggested. Sure, she nodded. I'm actually glad that I found you. I was looking for you. The green-eyed teen sat down beside her blonde-haired friend. Really? Well, now you've found me. What's up? Naruto wondered. That can wait. What's wrong? Why are you sitting up here like this? I'm just thinking, he replied. Sakura was silent for a moment. She could see that there was something clearly bothering him. She wanted to find out what was troubling him. He was her friend, so naturally she would be concerned. It was up to her to get to the bottom of things. Are you sure that's all? What's really on your mind? Naruto sighed. He wasn't really sure how he felt about telling Sakura the truth. Did he truly feel comfortable to tell her what was going on? This was the sort of thing he would much rather discuss with someone else. It's nothing. She raised an eyebrow to him in disbelief. He was flat out lying to her. Had they grown so far apart that he felt that he couldn't talk to her? She sincerely hoped that this wasn't the case. Luckily for you, I'm not Ino, so I can't invade your mind. So are you going to tell me what's wrong? Or will I be forced to use extreme measures? Ino-chan, wake up. Her mother said as she shook her sleeping daughter. No, she shook her head. 5 more minutes. Come on, it's a beautiful day. Don't you want to go out and enjoy it? No, not really, she mumbled. The platinum blonde had only wanted to stay in bed and sleep. At this moment she could think of nothing better. This was the absolute definition of heaven. Come on dear, wake up. Her mother spoke as she pulled the covers off of her. Ino reluctantly sat up after the feeling of the warm covers left her. Mom, she whined. You shouldn't waste your whole day in bed like this. It isn't like you, Ino-chan. I want you to go out and do something. Deciding that her mother would not leave her alone about this, she knew that she had to get up. All right, fine. The blue-eyed girl got out of the comfort of her bed and immediately headed for the shower to wash and get dressed. All the while she wondered just what was she supposed to do. The only person she had really wanted to see was Naruto. She hadn't seen him at all in the past few days. And although she did miss him, she had no idea what to say to him, where to start or how to begin. She wondered if he even wanted to see her. It would most likely feel very awkward between them. A lot of things felt awkward after they had shared their kiss. Okay mom, you're getting what you want. I'm leaving. Alright, goodbye Ino-chan. Try to have fun, okay? Yeah, she sighed. Ino walked the streets of Konoha with no goal in particular. She spotted some couples holding hands while they walked together. Oddly enough, it reminded the blonde teen of her and Naruto. Sure, their holding hands had been for show, but it had always felt nice. Holding hands with him like that made her think of what a relationship would be like. Yes, she had been on a few dates in her 17 years of life. But a real boyfriend was something that she had never had. She wanted someone to call her own. Naruto was the definition of a perfect boyfriend. The way that he cared about people was proof enough that he would be a great boyfriend. He had treated her with nothing but respect during their relationship. She knew that having him as a boyfriend would bring nothing but happiness and fun times. As she was passing by Ichiraku's, she immediately thought of her whisker-faced friend. Naruto, she whispered. Back at the Hokage monument, Naruto turned to look at his pink-haired friend. He knew that she would be able to see through his lie. Naruto gave her another smile. I guess that I can't lie to you, huh, Sakura-chan? Nope. She shook her head. So spill it. Naruto nodded. I sort of have a lot on my mind. Yeah, I can see that. Naruto, what's going on? It's such a long story. Why don't you tell me why you were looking for me? Maybe I can help out. Sakura thought about what had happened before she came up to the Hokage monument. Flashback. Sakura was sitting with Tenten and Hinata. The friends decided to meet up for the day. Only Sakura found that she was unable to tear herself away from the subject of Naruto and Ino. It seemed that their relationship was her favorite thing to talk about these days. Sadly, it seemed that nothing else really mattered. And you know what else? Sakura began. Tenten sighed heavily. She was sick of hearing Sakura complain about Konoha's favorite blonde couple. Sakura, please cut it out. We don't care what your theories are. But, Sakura, for the love of Kami, let it go. Leave Naruto and Ino alone already. Sakura-chan, you have been talking a lot about Naruto-kun and Ino-chan's relationship. Hinata added. Sakura sighed. Her friends didn't even want to hear her what she had to say right now. Where was the love and support? Friends were supposed to be there for one another no matter what. It's because there's something funny going on between them. Why won't you guys listen to me? We have been listening. The brunette spoke. And right now we're tired of listening to you. So why don't you shut up already? Tenten hadn't meant to sound so harsh at the time. She was just fed up with listening to Sakura go on and on about the blonde couple. Sakura was clearly jealous about them, if she would only admitted it to herself. Fine. Sakura spoke. I see what kind of friends you are. I'm going to go and see if I can find Naruto. He'll admit the truth to me. Bye. Bye Sakura, good luck with whatever you're doing. Tenten waited until Sakura was gone before whispering to the blue-haired girl. Sakura needs a hobby, or a man, or something. I think that she's totally losing it. End of flashback. Well Naruto, besides the fact that I don't really see you that much anymore. She started. I'm sorry about that Sakura-chan. I went to the land of waves so I wasn't around for a while. That's not what I meant. I haven't spent much time with you ever since you've been dating Ino. Wait, you went back to the land of waves. How's Inari and his family doing? They're doing well. Inari's gotten really tall. The boy is a complete and total pervert though. He wouldn't stop making comments about Ino-chan. Sakura let out a laugh. It was hard to picture. Who would have thought that the shy little dark-haired boy would turn into a teenage pervert? Really? Wow, a lot has changed. Yeah, Naruto nodded. Especially if Inari is into girls like Ino Pig. Naruto frowned. That's not very nice Sakura-chan. Yeah, I know. I was just kidding, sorry. She said in between giggles. The two friends sat there quietly. Neither one of them talking for a while until Sakura spoke first. Naruto, I really missed you, you know. It hasn't been the same between us. It feels like we've grown apart ever since you've started dating Ino Pig. I don't like to have that feeling, you know. I'm sorry Sakura-chan. I don't want you to think that I've been avoiding you or something. No, I don't think that at all. Ino has been holding you hostage though. She laughed. Anyway, speaking of you two, how are you two doing? Naruto did not answer her right away. Technically, he and Ino were not in a good place at this moment. He had no idea where he stood with her. He hadn't spoken to her or seen her at all in the last few days. So, he came up with the only answer that he could at the time. We're fine. Naruto, you aren't lying to me again are you? Come on, tell me the truth. Meanwhile Ino was still walking around when someone called out to her. Oi, Ino. She turned around to see her black-haired friend. Ino gave him a smile. It was definitely good to see a friend right now. Hi, Shika. He nodded. What's wrong with you? Are you alright? I'm fine. She lied. TCH, he snorted. You're lying, he said plainly. If everything is fine, then how come this is the second time I've seen you walk by here? She was caught. She couldn't think of a good excuse to tell him. Besides, he would most likely be able to tell that she was lying to him. Do you want to go somewhere and talk about it? Shikamaru asked. She did need someone to talk to, and she doubted that going to her mother would help. She decided to take Shikamaru up on his offer. All right, she nodded. The two friends sat down at a spot underneath a tree. Shikamaru put his hands behind his head and leaned back against the tree. Shika, you know that I hate it when you smoke. Quote, yeah, he whispered. He then put out his cigarette, then turned to his friend. What's on your mind, Ino? Well, I guess I just have a lot on my mind. Yeah, Ino. You aren't in trouble or something, are you? Sakura frowned at Naruto's silence. He had to be really thinking of something important to not respond. Naruto, how can I understand what's going on if you keep lying to me? I thought we were friends. We are Sakura-chan. Then you should be able to trust me enough to tell me what's going on. Sakura, it's a long story. It's a confusing time for Ino-chan and me. Sakura didn't understand what he was really getting at and immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion. Naruto, she exclaimed. You and Ino aren't thinking about taking that next step, are you? Sakura stood up from her spot on top of the Yondaime's head. Naruto blinked. He held his mouth open in shock. Sakura-chan, oh my god. She panicked. You guys aren't going to be that stupid, are you? You've only been together for what, a few months? Come on Naruto, think about the consequences. Sakura-chan, he repeated. This is unbelievable, I didn't think that this would ever happen. Naruto, don't make me a godmother, yet. Please, she begged. Sakura-chan, he stood up, putting his hands onto her shoulders in an effort to calm her down. You are overreacting. Ino-chan and I aren't there yet. Oh, good. She sighed in relief. I don't think I could handle that. Once that whole misunderstanding was out of the way, the two friends sat back down. Sakura-chan, Ino and I. Are you guys having problems? Yeah. Well, all couples have problems Naruto. Do you think it's perfect for Hinata and Kiba, or Lee and Tenten, for that matter? I'm sure they have their issues as well. You aren't thinking of calling it quits, are you? Naruto sighed to himself. He figured that he might as well confess the truth to her. She was, after all, his best friend. And, in truth, he felt that there was really no point in lying any further. There's something that you should probably know about Ino and me. Sakura stared wide-eyed at her whisker-faced friend. This was the moment of truth. Naruto was about to confess to her something huge. She could feel it. She would finally learn what the big secret was. I wonder what he's going to say. Alright, what is it Naruto? Yeah. She urged him to continue. Ino-chan and I. For Kami's sake Naruto, spill it already. Ino-chan and I were never really a couple in the first place. There, I said it, he admitted. Ino turned to look at her dark-haired friend. Shikamaru stared back at her. He was clearly expecting an answer. You know what, yeah, I'm in trouble. You are. Ino, what did you do? I did something really stupid. I fell for a guy that has feelings for someone else. Shikamaru hadn't been expecting her to say that. He expected her to say that she was in some serious trouble, like with her parents, Tsunade-sama. Or even during a mission. Ino, you knew that Naruto had a thing for Sakura from the beginning. Why did you even get involved with him? I really don't see how I can help you out of this. He spoke honestly. I know. I just wish that you could Shika, but no one can get me out of this. Shikamaru sat thinking to himself for a minute. He could think of only one thing to say to her. It was the only thing that made any kind of sense. Ino, you should dump him. Break up with him before you really get hurt. There's a problem with that. I can't exactly break up with someone that I was never actually dating in the first place. Shikamaru stared at Ino. She didn't give him any eye contact. To be honest, he wasn't really expecting her to say that. He had assumed that the two of them were dating. They'd given him no reason to think otherwise. So you guys had been faking your relationship. Yeah, she nodded. We did it for a lot of reasons. I thought it would be a good idea for him to get over Sakura. And I thought that it would be fun to tick Sakura off a little. Yep, sounds like something you would do, Ino. Yeah, well, that was my reason at first. But soon, I realized that Naruto was a good guy, you know. So I wanted him to get all the things that he wanted. And we both know that has always been Sakura. She paused. I just never expected to fall for him. Shikamaru could have told Ino from the beginning that this plan was a stupid one. Ino, you had to know this plan of yours was bound to have consequences. Yeah, I guess so. I know and I probably should have thought things through better. I just really didn't expect to fall for him. I know it was stupid, Shika, but I can't help how I feel now. Shikamaru slowly put his hand onto his friend's shoulder. So, Ino, what are you going to do now? Silence filled the air on top of the Hokage monument. Sakura closed her mouth, the surprise slowly leaving her face. She had finally received the answer she had been looking for this whole time. Now she knew why the idea of Ino and Naruto was so weird to her. They had never been a couple in the first place. So you guys were just pretending this whole time? Yeah. Naruto nodded. She shouted. I knew that something weird was going on between you two. You guys had me fooled for a moment. But your relationship just happened way too fast. Sakura continued to go on and on until she noticed how quiet Naruto was. His facial expression seemed sad. She had not meant to hurt his feelings in any way. Oh, she paused. Geez, I'm sorry, Naruto. I didn't mean to go off like that. Hey, what's wrong? It's nothing. Naruto, quit lying and talk to me. Sakura-chan, it's complicated. May I ask a question? Why would you 2 grams? Oh, so far to pretend that you were a couple. She really had to know the answer to this question. She knew that she would never be able to let this go until she found out why. Well, it was mainly to get you jealous. What? Yeah, Ino-chan wanted to help me get you to admit that you had feelings for me. So well, it was really mostly her idea. We decided to pretend to be a couple just to get your attention. Sakura thought about it. Now that Naruto had admitted the truth to her, it made perfect sense. For as long as she could remember, Naruto had held very strong feelings for her. She didn't know why she hadn't seen them pulling something like this before. It sounds like something Ino Pig would do. I don't even know why we went through with it. It was probably a real stupid plan to begin with. I had my doubts from the beginning. I probably should have talked Ino-chan out of it or something. And now what, Naruto? Nothing. It was all for nothing. Sakura gently put her hand to Naruto's shoulder. She didn't want to see him down like this. He was her best friend. She had to see him through this. Judging by his facial expression, there was something else that he wasn't telling her. She came to a conclusion. She wasn't sure if there was some truth to this, but it was worth a try to ask him. Naruto, I could be wrong. But I'm going to ask this anyway. I just want you to be honest with me, okay? Sure thing, Sakura-chan. Naruto, do you think? She hesitated. Well, I was wondering, have you fallen for Ino? Ino sighed to herself. She was now sitting with her arms around her knees. We kissed, she whispered. And now I don't know what to do. Did you like it? Did you like his kiss? Yeah, she answered. I really did. So, you got your answer. You go to Naruto and tell him how you really feel. Ino shook her head no. She couldn't do that, anything but that. No, he still likes Sakura. I don't stand a chance. I'm not going to even bother. As you would say, it's too troublesome. Shikamaru frowned slightly. This wasn't the Ino that he knew, his friend, the girl he knew his whole life. She seemed like a completely different person. Come on, Ino. You don't even sound like yourself. Where the hell did all your confidence go? Where's that troublesome girl I know so well? Troublesome, she repeated, her mind still preoccupied with thoughts about Naruto. Normally she would have jumped at berating him for using his trademark phrase to describe her. Yeah, he gave her a small smile. You and Naruto kissed. That had to mean something to the both of you. And how do you know if he even still likes Sakura? Did you even bother to ask him? Besides, I thought that you promised Asuma-sensei that you wouldn't lose to Sakura, in ninjutsu or love. Suck it up and go tell Naruto the truth already. Ino flinched when he said Asuma's name. Shikamaru was only trying to give her a bit of tough love, a push in the right direction. She appreciated what he was trying to do for her. When she turned to face Shikamaru again, there was now a glint of determination in her aqua-colored pools. Shikamaru smirked when he saw that same determ. I-nation he was so used to seeing in his friend's eyes. Ino reached over and hugged him. Thank you, Shika. It's not a problem. You're right. I'm going to go tell Naruto how I feel. I'm going to take a chance and go for it. I would never want to disappoint Asuma-sensei. She smiled. Ino let her friend go and then stood up. She suddenly found her strength again. She needed to do this now before she lost her nerve. I'll see you Shika and I'll let you know how it turns out. I'll be around, Shikamaru promised. Bye. She gave him another smile before heading off to Naruto's apartment. Naruto didn't answer Sakura right away. Instead he sat there staring into the sky. It's alright Naruto. You can tell me if it's true or not. She had truly wanted to know the answer. Had Naruto fallen for Ino in the process of their plan? It was definitely much more than a possibility. Naruto still hadn't answered her question. Naruto, please answer me. Yeah, he soon spoke. That kiss wasn't faked, Sakura-chan. When we kissed, I felt something that I've never felt before. I thought she felt the same. I really thought that the feeling was mutual. You guys had kissed before. What was so different about this time? Oh, you mean that time where you saw us? It wasn't really a real kiss. I didn't kiss her back at that time. But when we kissed a few days ago it felt. He paused. It felt. He tried to put his feelings into words. It felt right. Sakura finished, unsure of why her heart suddenly felt empty. Yeah, it felt really right. I thought that she liked the kiss too, but I guess that I was wrong. Sakura placed her hand onto her friend's shoulder. Well, what did you say Naruto? Maybe you just misunderstood her. You know you've always been a bit dense when it comes to relationships. She teased gently. Hey, well, she chuckled. You have been known to be more than slow in that department. Yeah, well I didn't misunderstand anything this time. What happened Naruto? Ino-chan regretted our kiss. She said so herself. She wanted to forget that the whole thing happened. And to make things worse, she didn't even believe that I wanted to kiss her in the first place. Why? You don't just do things for no reason. Naruto, what else is going on? When Ino arrived at Naruto's apartment, she stopped before knocking on the door. The platinum blonde gathered up her courage, and then proceeded to knock on the door. Naruto, open up okay. There was no answer. Ino knew that she couldn't blame him for not wanting to speak to her. She had been practically avoiding him for days. But Ino knew that she had to keep trying. Naruto, open up already. We really need to talk. I know that I ran out on you the other day, and I'm sorry. I'm here now, so we can make things right. There was still no response from him. He wouldn't ignore her this much, no matter how upset he might have been with her. He would have come to the door by now. She came to the conclusion that Naruto was simply not home. I need to go find him. She searched everywhere, Ichiraku's, the training grounds. She even asked everyone she met during her search, but no one had seen him. Are you sure that you haven't seen him? 10. Ino asked the brunette. No, I'm sorry Ino. I haven't seen Naruto. I have to get going, or I will be late for my mission. I'll see you around, okay. I hope that you find him. Yeah, thanks. Bye, Tenten. As she was about to give up, an idea suddenly came to her. He said that he liked to go up to the Hokage monument. Maybe he's up there. Yeah, I'll check the Hokage monument. She decided. And with that she ran off towards her destination. Naruto, what else is going on? Sakura asked again. She thinks that I only kissed her because I didn't have you to kiss at the time. She thinks that I was just using her as a replacement for you. He admitted the truth. Naruto knew this to be true. It was probably the reason why she had left like that in the first place. Sakura turned her attention elsewhere, while she allowed her mind to process everything. Naruto, can you really blame her? If this whole thing was to make me jealous, don't you think? That she would automatically assume that. Yeah, he just nodded. You weren't doing that were you? Sakura asked. Because, Naruto if that's what you were doing. No, he cut her off quickly. I wasn't using her in that way at all. I wasn't even expecting to kiss her. Besides, trying to make you jealous didn't even work anyway. You were never jealous, Sakura-chan. The pink-haired teen swallowed the lump of nervousness in her throat. Since Naruto had been so truthful with her, she felt the need to be honest with him as well. He had a right to know the truth. That's not entirely true, Naruto. I was jealous. Huh. He blinked. Yeah, she nodded. I was jealous that you were spending all your time with her. It felt like I was losing you or something. I guess that I never thought about losing you before. Naruto. You're important to me and I don't want to lose what we have. Sakura-chan. He whispered. I know that I haven't always been nice to you, and I'm really sorry for my past. I should have never treated you that way, Naruto. You didn't deserve it. Yet, no matter what I did or how I treated you, you were always there for me. You were always helping me, protecting me, cheering me up if I needed it. Naruto. I appreciate everything you've done. I really do. Naruto nodded. Sure, Sakura-chan, I told you before that I'm always going to be here for you. She smiled at her friend. Then she leaned her head on his shoulder. Naruto, sometimes I feel like I really don't deserve you. I used to be terrible to you when we were younger. Naruto slowly put his arm around the green-eyed girl. We've been through a lot together. Yeah, we really have. She agreed. We've been through hell together. Maybe that's why we're so close. I don't ever want to lose the bond that we have. Sakura-chan, you won't. You don't know what could happen, Naruto. Neither one of us can predict the future. So, that's why we have to promise to always be there for each other, for as long as we can. Naruto stared at his pink-haired friend. She was acting very strange to him. He turned her around so they were facing each other. Sakura-chan, are you alright? Why are you talking like this? I just shouldn't have ever taken you for granted. I'm going to make things right for my behavior. I promise, Naruto. Naruto started. Naruto, don't say anything. Don't say that I don't have to make up for the way I treated you. Because I do. Sakura-chan, he whispered. I never held any grudges. I just accepted you for you. And I'm grateful to have you as a friend. You will always be Sakura-chan to me. You can always count on me. So enough of this feeling guilty because of the past. We're okay now. The pink-haired teen wrapped her arms around his neck. Thank you, Naruto. Thank you so much. She slowly pulled away from the embrace and stared into his cerulean pools. Sakura-chan, this feels nice, Naruto. Let's sit here like this for a while. Sure. He agreed. He placed her arms around his shoulders and leaned into him. He had his arms wrapped around her waist. Their faces leaning extremely close to one another. Just then, Ino arrived to the top of the Hokage monument. She knew that Naruto had to be up here. She stopped briefly to catch her breath. Man, I really need to get into better shape. She teased herself. She looked around for any sign of Naruto. She paused when she saw him sitting on top of the Yondaime's head. The smile from her face quickly faded when she noticed that he was not alone. He was holding Sakura in a tight embrace, the kind that one would find two lovers in. And were they kissing? She wasn't completely sure what they were doing over there. Their faces were so close it looked like they were indeed kissing, about to kiss, or had already kissed. No. She shook her head in shock. Ino backed up a little. She felt a slight pang in her heart. The tears threatened to come down her eyes. All she wanted to do was make things right with him. And here he was with Sakura. He couldn't even wait to be with the pink-haired girl. This hurts. It hurts so bad. She cried to herself. Why did he have to do this to me? I thought our kiss meant something to him. The platinum blonde turned around so that she could leave. There was no way she was going to stand there and watch the rest of this display. I guess that I really shouldn't be surprised. Maybe I shouldn't have waited so long to tell him the truth. Why should I be surprised? He would jump at the opportunity to be with forehead. Ino wiped the tears out of her eyes, ONL. Why to find that the tears wouldn't stop coming down? The painful feeling in her heart wouldn't go away. Why does it hurt this badly? He's just another guy, isn't he? It shouldn't have to hurt this much. It wasn't even supposed to be a real relationship anyway. The platinum blonde could not get the image of them kissing out of her mind. It completely took over her thoughts. She felt almost as if she had been stabbed in the chest. She never felt this kind of pain before. Ino closed her eyes and another tear came strolling down her cheek. There's a reason why this hurts so much. She whispered. She could only come up with one conclusion. Do I love him? Does this hurt so much because I love that blonde baka? Ino had known that she felt something for Naruto. She had cared for him a lot. But, her feelings for him had been deeper than she had first realized. She noticed how upset this was making her. It wouldn't have hurt this much if she didn't love him. Suddenly all the fond memories they shared together flooded her mind, everything that led up to their kiss a few days ago. That amazing, wonderful, passionate kiss. The kiss that made her realize just how she felt for the whisker-faced male. Ino nodded to herself sadly and whispered, "I love him. I really love him." Ino didn't see any other explanation except for that. If this had been anyone else besides Naruto, she probably wouldn't have cared half this much. But Naruto wasn't just some guy to her. He was so much more than that. She thought of all the things that he had done for her, how he had protected her, and how sweet he was to her. No guy had ever treated her in the way that Naruto had. Naruto was somebody to hold on to. And, in truth, now she really couldn't imagine her life without him in some sort of way. Ino laughed to herself. It's funny. Who would have ever thought that I would ever have these sort of feelings for Naruto? If someone would have told her all those months ago that she would end up falling for Naruto, she would have never believed them. It seemed like such a far-fetched, crazy, unbelievable idea. The two of them together would have probably seemed like the most ridiculous match ever. Yet, now the idea of being with him didn't seem ridiculous at all. In fact, that was all she wanted. She wanted to be his girlfriend for real. Only, having witnessed what she had just seen had lowered her confidence. She had lost him without ever really having had him in the first place. He was never really mine to begin with. I never had a chance with him. The determination that was in Ino's eyes left her. There was no point in having it any longer. She had lost to Sakura. Well, she thought, at least our plan wasn't for nothing. It looks like you got what you wanted in the end, Naruto. I'll try to be happy for you. The platinum blonde decided that she should just go home. She wanted to curl up under her covers and stay there. Ino wanted to forget all about the name Naruto Uzumaki. She wanted to bury her feelings for him. That was, of course, easier said than done. Come on Ino, pull yourself together. It'll be okay. This was the way that it was supposed to be. You're a big girl, you can handle this. As she was walking past the benches she noticed Shikamaru sitting there gazing up at the clouds. He looked her way when he heard her footsteps. Shikamaru stared at her. He stood up and put out his second cigarette of the day. Ino, you're back fast. What's wrong? Are you alright? You look like you've been crying or something. He noticed. Ino turned her head to the side for a moment. Before running into his arms. She was more than glad to see him right now. Shikamaru stood there with a surprised look on his face. Shika, she cried out. Man, what do I do? He thought. He took a breath. Shikamaru slowly hugged her back. He didn't really have any other idea what to do for her right now. This seemed like the perfect solution. It'll be okay Ino. It'll be alright, he whispered to her soothingly. Shikamaru let Ino go and led her over to the bench he had been sitting on. What happened? How did it go? Ino wiped the tears out of her eyes once more. Naruto was busy. Busy, Shikamaru repeated. Yeah, I went up to the Hokage monument to see him. Only he wasn't alone. He was with Sakura and they were kissing. Shikamaru nodded his head. Naturally he saw why this had made Ino so upset. Troublesome, he muttered. I can't really be surprised, you know. He's liked Sakura for what, years now. I don't know why I expected him to get over it. The black-haired male grew silent. He really wanted to say something to make his friend feel better. Ino leaned into his chest further. Shikamaru sat there with his arm wrapped around her. It was the only thing he could think of to do at a time like this. I'm such an idiot, Ino muttered. You're not Ino. I really am. I should have already anticipated something like this happening. I just thought that with everything that we've been through, I meant something to him. I wanted to believe he would choose me over her. Talk about naive. Shikamaru decided that he would just let Ino vent out all of her frustrations. He didn't want to interrupt her when she clearly needed to get all of her emotions off her chest. Once he was sure that she was done, the dark-haired male spoke. Ino, are you sure that they were kissing? Maybe you misunderstood. Ino became silent. She wasn't altogether sure what she had seen. It had only looked like they were kissing. It was either that or they had just kissed before she arrived. The only thing she knew was that she didn't want to think about it. Also, she wasn't about to let Shikamaru know that she might have seen it wrong. I didn't misunderstand anything. I'm Sue. I was interrupting something when I got up to the Hokage monument. All I can see is him holding her. I just want to get it out of my head. I want more than anything for it to go away. The platinum blonde told her friend honestly. Back at the Hokage monument, Sakura and Naruto slowly pulled away from their hug. They stared at each other before Sakura turned away. Naruto started. The green-eyed teen turned back to look at her whisker-faced friend. I just really had to get that off my chest. It was bothering me for a while. It's okay, Sakura-chan. I had a lot of time to think, Naruto. That's pretty much all I've been doing. I want you to know that no matter what, we'll always be friends. Yeah, he nodded. Of course we will. Naruto could see there was something bothering else on the medic nin's mind. It was now his turn to find out what she was thinking. Sakura-chan, is there something else that you wanted to talk about? The young woman grew silent. Naruto smiled a little. I guess it's her turn to get all quiet now. Naruto thought. Naruto, I have to ask this. I won't be able to let this go unless I ask you. Okay. He nodded. You can ask whatever you want, Sakura-chan, you know that. This is probably really silly. She was hesitant. Tell me. He encouraged her. Sakura nodded. She took a breath to gather up all of her thoughts. She turned to face the whisker-faced male. Naruto. That crush you had on me. It's gone, right? Or do you think it might still be there? The blonde male couldn't say he was surprised that she had asked that question. For a very long time he did indeed have feelings for the pink-haired girl. She had been the object of his affections for most of his life. Sakura-chan, you were my first real crush and I will always remember it. I guess for a while I wasn't sure if I still liked you that way, but now I really don't think it's there anymore. Ino. He started. Sakura smiled as he mentioned the platinum blonde. She wasn't stupid. She could see where his mind really was. I guess these feelings I have for Ino-chan are different from the ones I had for you. I feel different when I'm around her. Sakura-chan, even though those other feelings I used to have for you are no longer there. I do care about you and I always will. Sounds like you're in love, Naruto. She thought to herself. Thanks, Naruto, I really needed to hear that. For a while I was very confused about my true feelings for you. I wondered if there was possibly something more, or if we were just really good friends. What did you come up with? Naruto wondered. Sakura then gave him a warm, bright smile. Naruto, we have been through a lot together. You're my best friend, who I trust more than anything. I think, no. She paused. I know that's all we'll ever be to each other and I'm fine with that. I want you to be happy and it's obvious to me Ino's is the one who makes you happy. So you know what you have to do now, right? Naruto nodded. He had to go find Ino and tell her his true feelings. He needed to make her understand that she was the one he wanted to be with. Yeah, I know. I just have to make her understand this time. Go for it, Naruto, you won't know until you try. Okay. He smiled. There was a bright glint of determination in his cerulean eyes. You're right, Sakura-chan. I better go find Ino, I'll see you around. All right. She nodded. Let me know how things turn out. I'm rooting for you, Naruto. Oh, and try not to plan the wedding too soon, okay, Naruto? She laughed. Okay, whatever. He laughed as well. Bye, Sakura-chan. He waved and made his way to Ino's house. Naruto raced down the Hokage monument at full speed. There was really no time to waste. He couldn't let another minute go by without talking to the platinum blonde. He soon found himself outside of the Yamanaka household. He reached into his pocket, taking out the butterfly-shaped necklace he wanted to give her. He would give this to her today and tell her how he truly felt. The young man took a deep breath. He was soon greeted by her mother. Good afternoon, Mrs. Yamanaka. She hadn't really been expecting to see him, but that didn't mean she wasn't glad to see the young man standing there. Hello, Naruto-kun. She smiled. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. I was beginning to think you were getting sick of us. She teased gently. Naruto laughed and ran his fingers through his hair. No, not at all. Is Ino-chan home? No, I'm afraid she isn't. It was such a nice day that I made her go out so she could enjoy it. Why don't you come in so you can wait for her? Sure. He nodded. The blonde boy sat down on the couch, while Mrs. Yamanaka came back out with some tea and dango for the two of them. There was no reason why she couldn't be a good hostess. I'm very glad you stopped by, Naruto-kun. Ino has been pretty quiet these last few days without you around. I think she missed you. If she missed me so much, why didn't she come to see me or something? He wondered. The older woman sat down in the armchair across from the couch. I'm guessing you two have been avoiding each other these past few days. Not really, Mrs. Yamanaka. I mean, he paused. I think that she's been avoiding me. I think things started to change after we. He paused again. Naruto wasn't sure whether or not Mrs. Yamanaka knew about the kiss, and he doubted she even be having this conversation with Ino's mother. Mrs. Yamanaka chuckled lightly. It's all right, Naruto. Ino already told me about the kiss. Oh, he whispered. So, you're not going to scream at me or hit me for kissing your daughter, are you? Naruto asked in a somewhat nervous manner. She only gave the young man a warm smile. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. I'm not going to yell at you for kissing Ino-chan. You must really like her. Naruto only nodded. It wasn't like he wanted to keep his feelings for the blue-eyed girl a secret. She likes you too, Naruto-kun. All I can tell you is don't give up on her. She can be a bit stubborn, but if you truly like her, then I think it's worth fighting for. Ino sat up and stopped leaning on her friend. Thank you for listening to me, Shika. I really needed someone to talk to. It's no problem, Ino, so what are you going to do now? Nothing, she answered. I'll probably congratulate the new couple. I'll wish them nothing but the best, although I'll be lying the whole time. Shikamaru had anticipated this sort of response from her. He knew the platinum blonde too well. He didn't agree with the way she was going to approach the situation. He felt that the best thing for her to do was talk to Naruto face to face. It was better to confront the situation head on. Ino, I think that you need to talk to Naruto. I don't want to talk to him. Besides, he's probably still sucking the life out of Sakura. I probably couldn't break those two apart even if I tried. Ino spoke bitterly. Do me a favor and go talk to him. Don't let the situation spiral further out of control. The least that you can do is tell him everything you told me. The blue-eyed female turned to face the lazy genius. Shika, she whispered. Yeah, he studied her facial expression and the far-off look in her eyes. She slowly put her hand to his cheek. His stoic expression didn't change, not once. Ino, she leaned forward, preparing to press her lips to his. Before she could, Shikamaru stopped her by putting his finger to her lips. What? She questioned. What are you doing? I'm stopping you before you make a stupid mistake. It's what friends do. Shikamaru said simply. What are you saying? How would my kissing you be a mistake? Shikamaru stared down into those aqua-colored orbs. He knew that deep down she knew the answer to that question. She just needed someone else to say it for her. You were only going to kiss me to forget about what happened with Naruto. You wanted to make him feel the same jealousy and hurt that you feel. Ino, I won't let you do something stupid. And I won't let you use me that way. Ino nodded. She knew Shikamaru was right. It wouldn't have been fair to drag him into this mess. Her situation with Naruto already had a lot going on as it was. She didn't need to drag him into this any further. You're right, she spoke. Besides, we both know you didn't really want to kiss me. Naruto is the one you want, right? Yeah, she nodded. He is, she admitted. Then what are you doing still hanging around with me? Go on and talk to him, maybe you will get an explanation. What can he possibly say to me? Just hear him out, Ino, get going. She pouted. You're no help at all, you know that. Goodbye, Ino. He gave her a small smile. Bye, thanks for nothing, you lazy jerk. She teased him. The platinum blonde. Stuck her tongue out at her friend before walking away. Shikamaru watched until she was gone from sight. Good luck, Ino, he whispered. Naruto now sat alone in the Yamanaka household. Mrs. Yamanaka had to attend to the shop and Inoichi was nowhere to be found. The young man found himself growing increasingly more nervous. What if Ino didn't want to hear what he had to say? Or worse, what if she did listen but decided to reject him anyway? What if he didn't stand a chance with the beautiful Kunoichi? He had been rejected by Sakura more times than he'd like to think about. He didn't want to have history repeat itself. Naruto wanted to make Thin's thing work with Ino. He smiled to himself as he thought of everything the two of them had been through together. One moment that stuck in his mind was when he had told her about the Kyuubi, the way she had cried for him, the way that she had held him in her arms. It was a moment that he would never forget. It was a sort of special moment shared between the two of them. Who would have ever thought that Uzumaki Naruto would end up falling for Yamanaka Ino of all people? If someone would have told him all those months ago that he would have feelings for the blue-eyed girl, he would have probably laughed. Nothing would have seemed more absurd. You know, now the idea of Ino-chan and me doesn't seem crazy at all. He didn't think it was crazy anymore. Spending so much time with her made him realize this. Now the only thing he wanted to do was make it official. He wanted to end their charade. The time for games was over. I hope that Ino-chan wants the same thing I want. He shoved his hands into his pockets in a somewhat nervous manner. He didn't know why he was even feeling so nervous. He had spent a lot of time with Ino. They had become good friends in the midst of their plan. Naruto knew he had to have the platinum blonde in his life somehow, some way or another. He turned around when he heard the front door open. He saw Ino standing there. She looked surprised to see him, more importantly her eyes looked red. She looked as if she had been crying. Ino blinked to make sure she saw Naruto really here in her house. What the hell was he doing here? She really didn't want to see him at his moment. Naruto, she questioned. Yeah, hey Ino-chan. What are you doing here? The blonde male sent her his familiar smile. Ino didn't want to admit it, but a part of her was happy to see him. A part of her wanted to hug him, while the other part of her wanted to scream at him to go away. I'm here to see you Ino-chan. I wanted to talk to you. Well, I don't want to talk to you. She told him. Huh, you heard me, I don't want to talk to you. So you can see yourself out. Ino started for the stairs so that she could go up to her room. Naruto stared at her with a confused look on his face. Ino-chan, what's wrong? Nothing, just leave. Wait. He reached for her arm, causing her to stop. She flinched at his touch. Let go of me. Will you at least tell me what's going on? Have you been crying? He asked, trying to push her bang out of her face. Ino pushed his hand out of the way. She turned around. He immediately noticed how red her eyes were. She had indeed been crying. What happened? Why were you crying? I was not crying, Baka. She lied. Now if you don't mind I would appreciate it if you left. Naruto didn't understand why she was being so hostile towards him. They hadn't left things on that bad a note the last time they had seen each other. I can't leave just yet Ino-chan, not until I talk with you. The platinum blonde sighed. Naruto wasn't going to go away until he said his piece. Alright, say what you have to say and then get out. Ino-chan, why are you so angry? What happened? It's nothing, don't worry about it. I'm sure that you have better things to do than waste your time here. So get to the point. Naruto realized that no matter how much he asked, Ino was not going to tell him anything. He was worried about this. Because if there was something he could do to make it better, he wanted to do it. Ino sat down with her arms folded, head cocked to the side so she wasn't facing him. Naruto could feel the tension in the room. It gave him an uneasy feeling. Ino, I've been thinking about you for the last few days. He started. Liar. She muttered. What? Naruto asked. I didn't say anything. Please continue with what you have to say. Yeah, he nodded. So, I really couldn't think of anything besides you and our kiss. You left so fast the other day we didn't really get a chance to talk. I think we've said all we had to say. The blue-eyed girl seemed completely focused on her nails. Naruto noticed he wasn't receiving any eye contact from her whatsoever. It was starting to annoy him. He wanted her to give him some sort of attention. This was important. I don't think so, Ino-chan. We didn't really talk much. I wanted you to know I really did want the kiss. Ino wanted to believe in his words. He wasn't one to lie, but right now all she was him being with Sakura. It was the only thing she could see. Her mind wouldn't allow her to think of anything else. I thought I told you we should forget it happened. Quote, I know what you said, Ino, but come on, can you really forget about it? Can you honestly tell me that you don't still think about it? I know I do. Naruto. She whispered. We have to be honest, Ino-chan. You wanted our kiss as much as I did, am I right or not? Naruto, what does it matter, it's over and done with. Ino, I think you've said all you have to say, goodbye Naruto. She prepared to leave. He knew he had to stop her. He put his hand to her arm and turned her around so they were looking at each other. Ino, don't leave. Naruto, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear anything you have to say. So why don't you? Naruto sighed before grabbing her and pulling her towards him. Ino simply wasn't getting it. He leaned down, capturing her lips in a soft kiss. Ino tensed up at the feel of his kiss. She tried to fight it, only struggling against him. I need to fight this. Only she soon found herself giving in and returning his kiss. In just for a second she allowed herself to forget what she had seen with Sakura. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt. Mrs. Yamanaka spoke. At the sound of her mother's voice, Ino pulled away from him. You've got some nerve. Mom, make sure Uzumaki-san sees himself out. Bye. But, he started. Bye. Ino repeated as she started for the stairs. Ino flinched when he heard the door slam shut. Mrs. Yamanaka smiled apologetically. Forgive her for her behavior. She's only lashing out like this because she's upset about something. Yeah, I know, I can tell. She won't tell me what's wrong. I'll go talk to her. Okay, Naruto-kun, wait here, okay? Naruto nodded, deciding to just listen to the older blonde-haired woman. He was sure that she knew how to handle the situation. Mrs. Yamanaka ascended the stairs to her daughter's room. The blonde-haired woman knocked on the door. Go away. Ino-chan, it's Mom. I'm coming in, all right. She opened the door to see her daughter laying on her bed with her arms around her pillow. Mrs. Yamanaka sat down on the bed beside her daughter. Ino. Yeah, what's the matter, dear? It looked like you and Naruto-kun were getting things on track. I don't want to talk about that idiot. Ino's mother rubbed her daughter's shoulder in an effort to calm her down. What happened? He's got some nerve, Mom. How dare he kiss me after what he did? What did he do? Ino then went into details about what she had seen on top of the Hokage monument. Her mother had never seen her get this upset over a boy, not even when she had that childhood crush on the Uchiha. Then again, Naruto was more than just some boy. He was important to her daughter, she could tell. Now do you see why I don't want to talk to him? Naruto-kun must be very important to you for you to be this upset. Ino raised an eyebrow to her mother. She'd put on her what the fuck face. Don't look at me that way, Ino-chan. I've never seen you get this upset over a boy. Now are you and Naruto-kun dating? What does that have to do with anything? Ino asked. Is he your boyfriend or not? Ino pouted, lip quivering and everything. So he wasn't truly her boyfriend. According to her, she had a right to feel betrayed. No, she mumbled. What was that, dear? No. Ino spoke louder. No, he's not my boyfriend. Then you really have no reason to be upset with him. It's not like he betrayed you. And for the record, you aren't even sure what you saw. You could very well be wrong, dear. Did you ever stop to consider that possibility? You should have seen the way he was with her. It feels like he betrayed me. Then he must be truly important to you. I think you need to go downstairs so that you can talk to him. And don't have a childish fit, talk to him like the young adult you are. Ino turned away from her mother. She was only trying to give her some good advice, like any mother would give their child. At this time though, Ino didn't want to hear it. Mom, please tell him to leave. I don't want to talk to him. Quote. Mrs. Yamanaka sighed to herself. She could see the situation would only get worse if Ino chose to ignore him. But she couldn't force her daughter to do something she didn't want to do. Alright, Ino-chan, I'll tell him to go. You know you're not helping the situation if you keep ignoring him. Sooner or later you will have to talk to him. I will respect your wishes though. Ino's mother returned downstairs to see Naruto standing with his hands in his pockets. He immediately noticed the apologetic look on her face. She won't come down, huh? He smiled. No, I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. Well, I guess better go up there after her then, huh? She wanted me to ask you to go. But, please don't stop on my account. She smiled back. Naruto nodded, then ran up the stairs. He knocked on one of the doors. Mom, please go away. I want to be alone. Naruto only opened the door to see the platinum blonde laying there staring into space. Ino-chan, he whispered. Ino paused when she heard Naruto's voice. She could have sworn she had told her mother to ask him to leave. Why was he still here? She sat up and turned to face him. Naruto, what are you doing here? You didn't want to come back down. So I came up here to you. So are you going to invite me into your room? So can we talk or what? You won't leave unless I let you come in here, right? Nope. He smiled. I'm not letting you off so easily this time, Ino-chan. A sigh escaped the blue-eyed female. Alright, come in. Naruto entered the room. It was the first time he had ever been in her room. He took notice to her purple blankets, sheets, and pillows. It seemed as if he had stepped into a wonderland of purple. Geez, and I thought I liked orange. She has me beat hands down. On the table next to her bed was a stuffed pig that also happened to be purple. Naruto mumbled. It was a birthday gift from Shika, Choji, and Asuma-sensei. She shrugged. It was supposed to be a joke. There was also a photo of the former Team 10 on the table. You miss him, huh? He pointed to Asuma. Yes, of course I do, but you aren't here to talk about Asuma-sensei. What else did you want, Naruto? You mean besides you? He thought. I can't just let things end this way, Ino-chan. It doesn't feel right. What if I want you to go? You would have to respect my wishes then, right? Naruto was leaned up against her wall. He stared at her with a serious expression on his face. If I believed you really wanted me to go, then yeah, I guess I would have to respect your wishes. But you don't want me to leave, right, Ino-chan? The platinum blonde avoided his gaze. I think I've made it very clear that I want you to go. Liar. He spoke. I had no idea you've taken to lying now, Ino-chan. Ino sighed to herself. She couldn't help but wonder just when this whole thing was going to come to an end. Naruto. She started. The whisker-faced male sat down on her bed across from her. Look me in my eyes and tell me you want to go. Ino slowly looked up to meet his gaze. Go away, she said in the firmest tone she could muster. Naruto gently placed his hand to her cheek. Ino did nothing to stop him. She didn't even bother to push his hand away. Will you at least tell me why you were so angry before? He asked. Why do you think? He frowned slightly. If I knew that, then I wouldn't be sitting here asking you, would I? Well, I didn't ask you to come over here and bother me. Why are you being so difficult? Because I told you I want you to go. If anyone is being difficult, it's you, Naruto. The blue-eyed male saw the conversation was starting to head towards a full-blown argument. He didn't come here to fight with her. Naruto realized he had to be the rational one right now. He placed his hands to her shoulders. Ino-chan, talk to me. I need to know why you are so upset. You were crying earlier, what happened? I want to help you. The platinum blonde slowly pushed his hands off of her shoulders. There was anger written all over her pretty features. You want to help me, then leave. I want you to go away. She then pushed him off of her bed. Ino-chan, he questioned. Go away, Naruto. She got up from her bed and began pushing him to the door. Why don't you get it through your thick skull? I don't want to see you. And that was the last thing he heard before the door slammed shut in his face. He blinked. Ino-chan, what the hell? She didn't respond to him. Instead, all he heard was the sound of the bedroom door locking. He would not be getting into her room like this. Naruto allowed a sigh to escape him. He could see there was no getting through to her right now. Alright, have it your way for now, Ino-chan. The spiky-headed blonde placed his hand to the doorknob before walking away. He slowly walked down the stairs only to find that Mrs. Yamanaka was no longer there. Hey Mrs. Yamanaka, I'm leaving now, take care, okay? He called out as he let himself out of the front door. Oh, Naruto-kun. She was coming from the kitchen, only it was too late, the front door had closed. Judging by the way he left and the fact that Ino did not come out of her room, things had obviously not gone well. Oh, Ino-chan, I hope you realize the mistake you're making before it's too late. Naruto walked back to his apartment in a somewhat depressed mood. What did he do that was so terrible to make her so angry with him? Nothing seemed to make sense anymore. If things were going to be this complicated, was a relationship with Ino really worth it? He began to wonder. Then about their kiss and his feelings for her. He couldn't deny that he had strong feelings for her, there was no sense in denying it. Yeah, Ino-chan is worth it. Naruto began to think about it more. Why was he willing to fight so hard for her? Were his feelings for her deeper than he first realized? It had to be for him to not want to give up on her so soon. She was special to him, he knew that much. And truthfully, now that he had spent so much time with the blue-eyed girl, he couldn't really imagine life without her. He wanted her in his life some way or another, preferably as his girlfriend. Am I in love with Ino-chan? He came to one conclusion, the answer had to be yes. It was the only kind of answer he could come up with. It was the only one that seemed to make any kind of sense. Hey Naruto. She turned around to see Sakura coming up to him. She obviously wanted to know how everything had turned out. Hi, Sakura-chan. Hey, so can I congratulate the new couple for real this time? You guys are an item now, aren't you? When is the wedding? She gently teased. Naruto didn't respond to her. The smile from her face started to fade. There was something wrong. Naruto. You can't congratulate anyone, Sakura-chan. Ino-chan and I aren't together. You're not. No, she didn't really want to listen to what I had to say. So we're not together, he said in a sad tone. I don't know what to do right now. Sakura walked over to her best friend. She saw that he was upset. The pink-haired teen wrapped her arms around him. It'll be okay, Naruto. Yeah, he whispered. She pulled away from their hug and gave him a brave smile. You'll figure it out, Naruto. You always find a way. Thanks, Sakura-chan. The blonde male stood there staring into space. Sakura wished that there was nothing she could say to make him feel better. She had to be able to do something for him. Are you going to be okay? She wondered. Yeah, I'll be fine. All right, she nodded. Well, if you need to talk or anything, you know I'm around. Thanks a lot, Sakura-chan. I appreciate it. Bye. Bye. The green-eyed teen continued on her way home. She really hoped that things would have worked out for the two of them. She didn't understand why Ino was being so stubborn. She must have had her reasons. Sakura felt the need to get down to the bottom of things. She needed to help Naruto in any way that she could. It was the least she could do. He was after all her very best friend, and he had always been a sort of support system for her. I'll get down to the bottom of things, Naruto, I promise. She whispered to no one. Look out, Konoha. Haruno Sakura is on the job. Shanaru. She shouted while thrusting her fist into the air. What the hell did you do? Tenten shouted out while pointing a finger at the pink-haired medic Nin. Sakura stood there staring curiously at the brown-haired Kunoichi. She opened her mouth to say something but was cut off by Tenten. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Tenten-chan, please calm down. Hinata spoke. You haven't even given Sakura-chan the chance to speak yet. The brown-eyed female took a breath. Okay. She nodded. There were a few moments of silence before Tenten spoke again, stopping Sakura from speaking once more. Come on, Sakura, out with it. What did you do? She repeated her question from earlier. Tenten, what are you talking about? The brunette put her hand to her hip and stared directly into those bewildered green orbs. Oh, so you have no idea what I'm talking about? No, I really don't know what you're talking about. If you calm down for a minute, maybe you can explain it to me. Tenten opened her mouth to speak but was immediately interrupted by a very enthusiastic voice. Tenten-chan. Lee was now making his way over to the three Kunoichi. Lee. The dark-haired male ran over to his girlfriend. He wrapped his arms around her waist and pulled her into a hug. Tenten-chan, I have missed you. Lee. She screamed. Put me down right now. Lee turned slightly red from embarrassment. He placed the flustered brunette back down on the ground. He laughed. I'm sorry, Tenten-chan. I just haven't seen you for over a week. Just going a day without seeing your beautiful face makes me feel depressed. How can you expect me to be youthful without you? She couldn't stay mad at him. Her facial expression softened towards him. Oh Lee, you know that I can't stay angry with you. She wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Sakura sighed and slapped herself upside the forehead. Not that I don't appreciate romance as much as the next girl. But can we please save this for another time? Right. Tenten nodded and pulled herself together. Yeah, so as I was saying. I want to know what you did, Sakura. I just saw Naruto and Ino not too long ago. Guess what, they weren't together. They did not look very happy at all. So what have you done? Sakura blinked again. Tenten They both looked completely miserable. Lee nodded in agreement. Tenten-chan is right. They were both behaving most unyouthful. I don't recall having seen either one of them looking so upset. Tenten, I haven't seen Ino in a while, so I know you had to have been involved, Sakura. The last thing I remember you saying was that you wanted to ask Naruto something. You basically said you wanted to expose some sort of truth. The only conclusion I can come up with is that you somehow caused them to break up. It was the only thing that seemed to make any sense to the brown-haired female. Sakura must have somehow convinced Naruto to break off his relationship with the platinum blonde. Yes, it had to be the only logical explanation. What? The pink-haired female shouted. I think I see how it must have happened. Tenten whispered. Tenten's daydream. Tenten envisioned the happy blonde couple sitting together holding hands. Naruto took his free hand and pushed her platinum blonde locks out of her face. You are so beautiful, Ino-chan. She blushed heavily at his compliment. Oh, Naruto-kun, you are so sweet. She reached over to pull him into a tight embrace. Before long the blonde duo was leaning in for a kiss. Hen out of the bushes came the pink-haired medic Nin. Aha, she pointed. I finally found you too. Sakura-chan. The blue-eyed male blinked in confusion. Why are you dressed like that? Ino asked. The green-eyed teen was wearing a long cape, pink tights, and had a red top with a bright red S on the front. Her face was also covered with a mask. You wouldn't have really been able to tell it was her if it weren't for her obvious pink locks. Sakura looked like some sort of superhero reject. Never mind, my clothing is not of importance. Why yeah, Ino laughed. What did you do, sew them in the dark? They look really bad. Sakura frowned while the blonde girl continued laughing out loud. Shut up, pig. Hey, don't be upset with me forehead just because I don't look as ridiculous as you. Naruto decided that it was time for him to intervene. Sakura-chan, what's going on? I'm really glad I found you, Naruto. Now we can talk. I need you to listen very carefully to me, okay? Naruto simply nodded. What is it, Sakura-chan? Well, for one thing, I am here to put a stop this madness. Naruto, you and the pig over here are not right for each other. It's just all kinds of wrong. You can do so much better than her. The blue-eyed female looked completely offended. How dare you, you. Shut it, pig. I'm talking here. Naruto, you know what I'm telling you is true. Come on, she's all wrong for you. You guys don't have anything in common. You'll only make each other miserable. I predict nothing but terrible things for this unholy union. Deep down you must realize it too. No. What is it going to take for you to wake up and smell the ramen, and ditch Ino pig to the curb? Ino grabbed Naruto's hand, clutching it tight within hers. Let it go already, forehead. Naruto-kun is with me now. And we're happier than ever. Aren't we? Naruto didn't answer her right away. Slowly he let her hand go. Sakura-chan, you were right. Huh. Ino and Sakura spoke together. I have seen the light. Naruto jumped up from where he was sitting. He then gave Sakura an appreciative smile. He then turned to face the platinum blonde. Ino, you have to admit Sakura-chan makes some pretty good points. We were never really right for each other at all. You don't even like ramen, or the color orange. And you made fun of Gamma-chan. He spoke about his frog wallet. I can't let those things slide. Ino blinked. Naruto, what are you saying? I'm saying that it's over, Ino. I'm going to listen to Sakura-chan's advice. She stood up as well, rage written all over her pretty features. How dare he do this to her? After everything they had gone through. Unbelievable. After everything I've done for you. I ate ramen for you, for God's sake. That alone was cruel and unusual punishment. And now you are dumping me for the pink blunder over there. Hey, Sakura spoke. Don't be angry with me because Naruto finally woke up and saw the light. I'm sorry, Ino, goodbye. He gave her a small SMI. And walked off with the pink-haired teen. You asshole. The platinum blonde screamed. I will never forgive you for this, Uzumaki Naruto. End. Sakura just looked completely stunned. Did the brun Ed have an overactive imagination or what? 10. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Alright, she agreed. So maybe you weren't dressed in comic book hero fashion, but I know you had something to do with this. Sakura, I can't believe you would be this way. I knew you were jealous, but to actually destroy your two friends' happiness. Wait a minute, Sakura interrupted. No. Tenten remained firm. I never thought of you to be that type of person, Sakura. She sighed. I can't even look at you right now. Tenten, you don't understand. Before she could say any more, the brown-haired Kunoichi was gone. Tenten-chan, wait. Lee called out. I'm sorry, Sakura. The black-haired male spoke. I will try to calm her down. Right. Hinata nodded. Sorry, Sakura-chan. We'll talk to her. And with that, the blue-haired teen ran after Lee. A sad sigh escaped Sakura. One of her friends had pretty much called her a manipulative backstabber. And in Tenten's eyes, she was now responsible for the downfall of Konoha's favorite blonde couple. As hurt as she felt at that moment, realization soon hit her hard. Wait, How am I responsible for breaking up a couple that never even existed in the first place? She didn't get the chance to explain to Tenten about the charade the two of them had been putting on. There had never been a real relationship for Ino and Naruto. But that wasn't important right now. Talking with Tenten would have to wait. Right now she had more important issues to deal with. I need to talk to Ino. She decided. She knew where Naruto stood and what his feelings were. But she really needed to get the other side of the story. Because there was always another side to each story. She would seek out the platinum blonde and not leave her alone until she gave all the details. She made her way to the Yamanaka household. In all honesty, she was a little nervous about this upcoming conversation. She hoped it wouldn't turn ugly. The last thing she wanted was to cause a scene in front of Mr. and Mrs. Yamanaka. But considering how both she and Ino could behave, she was more than sure that some words were bound to be said. Fortunately for the pink-haired teen, she would not have to wait until getting to the Yamanaka household. So if words were going to be said, they would be spoken out here in the open. She was about to walk by when she saw Shikamaru and Ino in what looked to be an intense conversation. They were sitting very close to one another. She couldn't help but notice that. Shikamaru, Ino. She ducked behind a tree to keep from being seen. She had no idea what they were talking about. But whatever it was, it looked to be of importance. The platinum blonde put her hand to the dark-haired male's shoulder. Sakura's eyes widened slightly. What? She whispered. It looked innocent enough. They were good friends, known each other since they were children due to their families. And they had been teammates for years. Despite knowing this information, Sakura still couldn't help but to jump to some type of conclusion. They remained in conversation for a while longer. Soon Ino stood up to leave with Shikamaru standing up as well. Sakura watched Ino smile for him. She whispered a few words and then hugged him tightly. The pink-haired teen fell back against the tree. Her eyes never leaving the two of them. It looked like she got her answer. The reason why Ino had rejected Naruto was because of Shikamaru. She hated to jump to the wrong conclusion, but they looked so much like a couple right now. The way they seemed to be hugging a little too closely. Why did that hug seem to last just a few minutes too long? Oh Ino, she whispered. How could you do this to Naruto? He really likes you. It's very real to him now. Ino released Shikamaru from the hug. Sakura watched her smile warmly once more. She whispered what looked to be a goodbye, and with that she was leaving. Sakura waited a little while before going after the platinum blonde. The pony-tailed male looked up to see the pink-haired girl walking. She was headed in the same direction Ino had left in. He didn't have a very good feeling about this. Sakura, he whispered. She turned back for a moment and looked at him. He stared back at her as well. She frowned slightly and then kept walking. No, he truly did not like the feeling he was getting right now. Should he go after Ino to make sure nothing happened? He thought about it for a moment. He then realized he shouldn't go after her. Whatever it is that was going to happen was not any of his business. Ino would need to handle this on her own. In fact, he was more than sure she would be able to. The only thing he could do was to be there to listen to her after it was all over. She'll be okay, Shikamaru decided. Sakura continued after the blue-eyed teen. Now that she knew the real reasons behind Ino's actions, she wouldn't let this go easily. She would confront the platinum blonde. Oh yeah, Ino would hear a mouthful from her. When the platinum blonde finally did come to a stop, she stood there for a moment with her back turned. She looked up, gazing into the afternoon sky. Sakura stood close by, only just arriving herself. You can stop following me now, Sakura. Ino spoke. Why don't you just come over already? She turned around and waited for the green-eyed girl to come over to her. Sakura came walking towards her friend. They stood feet away from each other. They weren't very far away from each other, but there was still a good amount of distance between them. Ino, Sakura whispered. The two of them stood staring at each other. Neither one of them looking away. So, Ino started. What did you want? Sakura did not speak right away. She looked around for a moment. There was something sort of familiar about this place. She just couldn't put her finger on it right this moment. Are you going to talk or what, forehead? Or did you just want to follow me all day? I planned to do a little shopping and go home to take a very hot bubble bath. I don't think you want to be there for that though, unless that sort of thing turns you on. Sakura repressed the urge to hit or scream at the blonde. She needed to keep calm. That's not funny, pig. She added the nickname in as well. This is important. We need to talk. All right then. Ino nodded. Then why don't you get to talking so we can both get out of here? Since you did follow me all the way here, I'm guessing that it really must be important. Yes. Sakura nodded. It is important. Ino could think of a lot of other things she wanted to be doing right now. She didn't even really want to talk to the pink-haired teen. Sakura was one of the last people she wanted to have a conversation with. Alright then, what do you want? A sigh escaped Sakura. She closed her eyes for a moment, swallowing the anger she was feeling towards the blonde. Ino, you're my friend. I will always consider you a friend. You were my very first friend. Sakura added that part in a whisper. The platinum blonde blinked in confusion. What was the point of this opening sequence? Hey forehead, are you sick or something? Why the sudden trip down memory lane? Fryan, DS are supposed to understand each other. They're supposed to be able to relate to choices and decisions that they both make. But, I don't understand this, Ino. Understand what, Sakura? What are you talking about? The green-eyed teen gripped her fist. So now Ino wanted to pretend like she had no idea what she was talking about. Like she hadn't realized that she had hurt Naruto. Did she even care? I'm talking about what you've done. Don't you realize how upset Naruto is over you? You rejected his feelings just so you could be with Shikamaru. Sakura raised her voice. Ino looked like she had suddenly gotten the wind knocked out of her. Did you even think about how he would feel? Did you even give him the chance to tell you how he felt? I can't believe you would do something like this, Ino. That's what I can't understand. Do you even care at all about what you did? Ino swallowed and regained herself. What I did? She shouted back. I didn't do anything to Naruto. He should know why I didn't want to listen to what he had to say. And what the hell are you talking about saying I rejected him for Shikamaru? Sakura blinked twice. She took a second before she spoke again. I saw you, Ino. I saw how close the two of you were. If you wanted to be with Shikamaru, you should have just told Naruto that. Why even lead him on? But then again, it was all a game for you, right? The whole let's pretend to be a couple thing was your idea in the first place. The platinum blonde was not surprised by the fact that Sakura knew about their little charade. She was very determined to get down to whatever it was they were hiding. More than likely, though, Naruto had probably told her the truth that day she had seen them on the Hokage monument. She shuddered slightly from the bad memory. So you know about what we did. I'm not really surprised, but I won't have you yelling at me like this. I didn't do anything wrong except try to help a friend. You do know one of the reasons why we started the whole thing, right? I'm sure you do. Sakura only nodded, deciding not to comment any further. Shikamaru and she started. You were with him, Ino. Sakura cut her off. Don't pretend that it was all innocent either. Ino frowned. Yes, we were talking, so what? Before she could finish though, Sakura continued speaking. Just admit it already, pig, you're with him. There's no reason to lie about it anymore. That was it. She couldn't take it anymore. She shouldn't have to explain herself to the pink-haired teen, but right now she simply felt like she had to. Sakura had no right to accuse her this way. Shikamaru and I were talking about Asuma-sensei. She shouted. The anniversary of his death is coming up soon and I just needed someone to talk to. Sakura looked suddenly sad. She knew how hard it'd been for Team 10 to lose their beloved sensei. She now felt badly for jumping down the platinum blonde's throat in the way she had. I shouldn't have to explain my relationship with Shika to you, forehead. You're going to believe what you want anyway, so I'm not even going to bother. She stopped talking for a moment. Ino, she was about to say she was sorry, only Ino spoke again. If anyone should explain anything, it's you and your relationship with Naruto. She paused. She hadn't meant to let that slip. Sakura stared into those upset aqua-colored orbs. Naruto and she started. Ino, I don't think you. She turned away from the blonde female for a second. I shouldn't have said anything. It's not really my business what goes on between you and Naruto. Ino told her. I don't even really want to know either way. Ino, really, you've got it wrong. Anger quickly flashed across her features. The last thing she needed was for Sakura to pretend that there wasn't anything between the two of them. She was not an idiot. Stop, forehead. Don't even bother lying about it. It's okay, really. I'm glad I didn't waste my time completely on that stupid plan, at least Naruto got the thing he wanted most out of it. Ino, calm down, it isn't. I'm not stupid, Sakura. I saw the two of you up on the Hokage monument. The worst thing you could do is stand here and tell me that I didn't see the two of you together. Realization hit the medic Nin. Ino hadn't rejected Naruto because she was already with Shikamaru. Ino didn't give him the chance to tell her how he truly felt because of her. Ino was under the wrong impression about the two of them. She was upset about what she had seen on the Hokage monument, which had been nothing more than two good friends in a conversation. But of course, just like Sakura had done, the platinum blonde had jumped to the wrong conclusion. The whole thing could be resolved simply. Alright, Sakura nodded. We were up there. I know, I saw. But Ino, I'm telling you, it's really not what you were thinking. Nothing happened between Naruto and me. I don't believe you, forehead. You don't get it at all. She folded her arms and started to walk away. She had enough of their conversation. No, Ino, you can't leave. We are not done here. I'm tired, Ino said simply. I'm through talking, forehead. Sakura knew the only way to mock the platinum blonde stay was to provoke her. She needed to make her angry enough to stay. So that's it then. You're just going to walk away. You're going to give up and throw in the towel. You're just going to walk away from Naruto for good. You're being a coward pig. And you call yourself a kunoichi. The blue-eyed teen turned around quickly. Shut the fuck up, Ino shouted. She ran up to slap Sakura across the face but stopped herself. Go ahead, it will make you feel better. Sakura spoke calmly. But I won't hit you back, Ino. I'm not going to let it come down to fists. I won't fight you. Ino allowed a tear to stroll down her eyes. You don't get it, forehead. You don't have to fight me. I was the one that had to fight with you. I can't compete with you when it comes to Naruto. He has these feelings for you that I couldn't even begin to compete with. Knowing that hurts more than anything. Sakura felt herself get teary-eyed as well. Only she wouldn't allow herself to cry at this moment. Ino, she whispered sadly. He'd choose you over any girl, and you have to know that, Sakura. No one would be able to come between feelings that strong. The bond you have with each other, it's not something me or any other girl could or would feel secure about. Sakura slowly placed her hand to her friend's shoulder. So everything was coming to the surface now. Deep down, despite her confidence, Ino was completely insecure about this issue. It had obviously affected her more than Sakura first imagined. She never thought Ino of all people could be this way. But it just proved how human she was. Everyone had insecurities, fears, and other normal concerns in life. Ino, you're right about one thing. I am close to Naruto. How could I not be after everything that's happened with us? But you don't need to fight with me for him at all. Because you have your own connection with Naruto. You and he have your own bond now. Ino shook her head while wiping the tears from her eyes. Sakura, you and I both know that you could have him at the drop of a hat. I refuse to throw myself into a situation with a guy who doesn't want me as much as I want him. I don't want to wake up one day and be LF'd because he really wanted someone else. I will never be anyone's second choice. Sakura allowed a sigh to escape her. Ino was determined, all right. She was being completely stubborn. But there was something else happening here. Sakura could see that this was possibly turning into another Sasuke situation. She didn't want to have history repeat itself. Ino, you need to listen to me, okay? You can't let a little insecurity keep you from something that might be the best thing for you. What don't you understand, forehead? I'm not able to compete with you. I've already given up gracefully. Why can't you just accept it? Ino, am I really the only reason why you're doing this? I guess what I'm saying is that I do not want another Sasuke situation. So if you're also giving up because of what happened years ago. The blue-eyed girl blinked, her eyes still misty from her tears. You think this is about that asshole? This is much bigger than a stupid little crush I had years ago. Naruto. She started. He means so much more to me than that meaningless little crush. He is more important to me. She whispered. Sakura began to realize just how deeply the blonde cared for him. You love him, don't you, Ino? She whispered. It was no wonder why she was so insecure. She had strong feelings for the whisker-faced boy. It wasn't a silly crush, this was much more than that. These were feelings Ino had probably never had before. Love could be a scary thing, especially when you're falling in love for the first time. And why shouldn't the thought of the one you love being in love with someone else scare the hell out of you? Sakura began to understand everything completely. If Naruto really means as much to you as you say, then why the hell are you giving up on him? I shouldn't even be an issue, Ino. I should be the farthest thing from your mind actually. He really likes you, Ino. I'm telling you the truth. And I do care about him too, I want him to be happy. He's my best friend, Ino. I promise you that he's only my best friend. Nothing more, nothing less. Ino backed away from the pink-haired teen. Sakura, she spoke quietly. Please just leave it alone. She then turned to go, looking around at where they had been standing. She quickly realized where they were. Does this place seem familiar to you, forehead? Yeah, she nodded. It took me a while to remember, it's kind of strange, isn't it? Yeah, Ino agreed. It's funny how we had this sort of conversation right here at this place. The wind blew Sakura's pink locks across her face. The place where we first ended our friendship. Sakura whispered. No. Ino shook her head. This is the place where you ended our friendship. You walked away from me and left me standing here. It's my turn now, I'm only sorry I don't have anything to give back to you. I think I lost that ribbon. Oh well, goodbye Sakura. She didn't wait for the medic nin to say anything else. Sakura only watched until she was gone from sight. You are still my friend, Pig. She smiled sadly. I will help you if it's the last thing I do. She promised. At least she knew how Ino really felt now. Both she and Naruto had the same exact feelings for one another. The only thing that seemed to be holding them back was Ino's obvious fear and insecurity. When they broke past that, it was bound to be smooth sailing. Sakura would do this for her two friends. If she had to be the one to bring them together somehow, she would do it. She needed to do this for her two closest friends. Especially since it was obvious the feeling was completely mutual and they wanted to be together. A simple little issue like insecurity was not enough to back out of a relationship that looked like it was going to be a good thing. I guess I just have to do whatever I have to do. Sakura decided. From there she headed straight to Naruto's house. He needed to hear the newfound information she had to tell him. If anyone had to be the one to convince Ino, it would have to be him. Ino didn't want to listen to anything she had to say. So somehow Naruto had to get through to her. Sakura would do whatever she could to help. But she had the feeling Naruto would be the actual one to fix everything. He can do it, she thought. The green-eyed teen knocked on Naruto's apartment door. He soon came to the door, a little surprised to see her. Sakura-chan. He spoke with surprise. Naruto, we need to talk right away. Okay. The whisker-faced male nodded and let her in. He had no idea what she wanted to talk about, but nonetheless he would listen. Alright Naruto, we don't have much time to waste. You have to get over to Ino, Pig, and it's okay Sakura-chan, you don't have to tell me anymore. Huh, she wondered with confusion written all over her face. Naruto, I don't know what you're talking about. But Ino, I already know Sakura-chan. He interrupted her. She noticed a somewhat sad expression on Naruto's face. Hey, what's wrong Naruto? Did something happen? A sigh escaped the blonde male as he sat down by his window. I think I know why you're here Sakura-chan. You came to tell me about Ino and Shikamaru. I already know, I already saw them together. He added. It was earlier when the blue-eyed male witnessed Shikamaru and Ino together. They looked to be very close while they sat talking with one another. He couldn't forget how she had hugged him. Sure, it was only a hug and they were friends. But for some reason it felt like so much more to Naruto. He simply couldn't get the image of the two of them out of his mind. Sakura shook her head. Oh no Naruto, not you too. Look, I jumped to the wrong conclusion as well. It's not like that between them. Naruto just gazed out of his window. He didn't say anything for a while. His silence worried the pink-haired girl. Naruto, say something. He gripped his fist slightly. Don't lie to me to spare my feelings Sakura-chan. I just wish she would have told me this before. Naruto, you have to listen to me, okay? I'm telling you that they are just friends. There's really a simple reason on why she treated you the way she did. Yeah, she didn't want to listen to me because she's with him now. All she had to do was say that. No, she shook her head. She's scared Naruto. I don't think I've ever seen her act like this. Scared, he whispered. Yes, she's insecure about being with you because. She paused. At this Naruto let out a laugh interrupting the pink-haired teen. Ino isn't insecure about anything Sakura-chan. She just might be one of the most confident people I know. Stop saying things like that to try and make me feel better. I'm not going to waste my time anymore, especially not now. It pained Sakura to hear him speak in such a way. She wondered if he was also behaving in such a defeatist attitude because of how harshly she had rejected him. Perhaps he didn't want history to repeat itself either. Naruto, you can't give up. You can't throw in the towel, if you just let me explain. Sakura-chan, just do me a favor and let it go. I'll be okay. He promised. I want to be alone for a while. How about we meet up for Ichiraku's later, my treat? He added with a brave smile. What could she do? She had to respect his wishes. But she would give it another try. Naruto, will you please just listen to me? I don't want to talk anymore, Sakura-chan, so please go. We'll meet up later, I promise. He said no more and turned back around. She took it as a sign that she should probably just go. Fine, okay. You're just as stubborn as the pig is. You guys belong together, I swear. She sighed. But since you won't listen to me right now, I'll go. It's not over though, it's far from over. She promised. Bye, she added. He heard the door close behind her, indicating she was no longer in his apartment. He then made himself a cup of instant ramen and sat down on his bed to eat. The image of Shikamaru's arms wrapped around Ino's waist stuck in his mind. He groaned in frustration and slammed the now empty cup of noodles on the table. There was soon another knock at his door, which grabbed his attention. Sakura-chan, he shouted. I thought I asked you to let it go. He opened the door to see someone else. It was a person he really hadn't been expecting to see at all. Why, Yamanaka-san? He questioned. Inoichi Yamanaka himself stood there staring down at the teen. Hello Naruto, is it alright if I come in? Sure, wait a second please. Naruto then dashed back inside of his apartment to quickly tidy the place up. Mr. Yamanaka may have never wanted to kill him. But there was still that initial sense of fear still lingering in the depths of Naruto's mind. It had to be the serious look in the older male's eyes. Or the face that the man seemed to exude a sore of presence that would naturally strike fear into the heart of any teen boy. Naruto assumed it was one of those things that couldn't be helped. Like his love for ramen or Tsunade's excessive gambling or drinking. It was just a natural thing. Maybe Inoichi couldn't help but to come of as a scary, intense person. Naruto soon came back to the front door. Okay Yamanaka-san, you can come in now. If I had known you were coming, I would have hired a maid to clean up or something. Naruto laughed, not at all serious about hiring someone to clean up his apartment. Yes, the sandy blonde male nodded as he eyed a suspicious-looking pair of green boxers lying on Naruto's bed. Hey, Naruto let out a nervous laugh and quickly threw the boxers aside. Sorry, it's all right. Inoichi nodded. I'm just grateful I did not see anything strange. I'm sure you have hidden all the dirty things, am I right, son? He teased, clearly joking with him. Yeah, Naruto nodded. Oh, wait, I mean no. He shook his head. There are no dirty things here, Mr. Yamanaka, I promise. Inoichi simply chuckled at the boy's nervous expression. He seemed to be on the verge of some sort of panic attack. Calm down, son, I was only kidding. You need to learn how to relax better. You're too jumpy. Yeah, well Yamanaka-san, to be honest, you do scare people. Inoichi gave a slight nod. A frown suddenly spread across his face. I thought we were past all of this already. I don't want to hurt you, Naruto. I'm not lurking outside of your house with a kunai, just waiting to strike. Inoichi demonstrated the action which made Naruto jump back slightly. The idea of the possibility starting to scare the young man. Why, yeah, of course not. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. Inoichi looked serious for a moment, making Naruto wonder if there was something wrong. Mr. Yamanaka, he began. Naruto, there is a reason why I stopped by. I was hoping to talk with you, it's about my daughter. Naruto nodded but did not say anything right away. The two of them sat down at the table. Naruto wasn't really surprised to hear Inoichi bring up Ino. He had to know a little something about what was going on. Mr. Yamanaka, I don't know what you want me to say. Ino-chan has not been acting like herself lately. She has been, he paused. Well, to be honest, she seems downright miserable these days. I think it has something to do with you, Naruto. You don't come around much anymore. I suppose what I'm saying is that she was a lot happier when you were around. Could you tell me what happened? I'm just worried about her. Natural. Lee is her father, he would be concerned with any change of behavior. Yamanaka-san, I don't know what's wrong with her. Did you try asking her? She will not talk to me. Inoichi admitted. She tells me that everything is fine, but I know that she is lying. She won't even talk to her own mother. She wouldn't talk to me either, sir. Maybe you should try asking Shikamaru. They're pretty close. He spoke with a hint of bitterness which didn't go unnoticed by the sandy-haired male. So I'm right then, something did happen between the two of them. He thought. Inoichi took a moment to put his thoughts together. He didn't have all the details and maybe he really didn't need to know them. The one thing he knew for sure was that ever since Naruto stopped coming around, his daughter's behavior changed drastically. He had never seen her have so much interest in a boy. Not even when she had a crush on that Uchiha kid. Naruto, I don't need to know all the details if you don't want to tell me. The only thing I care about is my daughter's happiness. Anyone could see she was happy with you. Naruto, you've sort of become a part of the family in a way. My wife adores you, so does Ino-chan. It's obvious to me that this is more than a silly crush to her. And me? He paused. Well, I have a great respect for you, son. Really? Naruto spoke with a hint of surprise in his voice. Mr. Yamanaka nodded. How could he not have a great respect for the whisker-faced male? Naruto had been through a hell of a lot for a person his age. Dealing with the fact that he had to be Kyuubi's container was a hell of a burden alone. And he had dealt with it so well. He was able to deal with so much, yet remained so strong. Inoichi respected determination. It was a most admired quality. If he had to choose someone for his daughter, it would be someone like him. So, the boy seemed to be a nervous wreck around him. That was a minor issue they could always fix later. Yes, I honestly believe you are what's right for my daughter. But when it comes right down to it, whatever happens between the two of you is up to the both of you. I have a feeling though that you truly care for Ino-chan. Yeah, Naruto nodded. Of course I do. I tried to tell her but she wouldn't listen to me. Suddenly a small smile appeared on the older man's face. I thought so. The only thing I can say is if you can deal with everything you've gone through, I think you can easily deal with someone as stubborn as my princess. It's your choice in the end, son. I should be going now. It was nice to see you again, Naruto. We do miss your presence around the house. Yeah, Naruto agreed. It was nice to see you again, Yamanaka-san. Inoichi. He stared. Call me Inoichi-san. Alright, Inoichi-san. Very well, that'll do, I guess. Goodbye for now, Naruto. I hope you will take into consideration everything I said. And with that, Mr. Yamanaka left the blue-eyed boy's apartment. To have the approval of Inoichi made Naruto feel a sense of relief. He knew he had warmed up to him, and that Inoichi didn't actually want him dead. But to learn that Mr. Yamanaka actually had a great respect for him, it just made him feel like was truly appreciated by the Yamanaka family. It was always nice to feel appreciated by anyone, even more so when it was the girl you loved family who cared so much about you. Did he somehow have a permanent place in the Yamanaka family? He knew the only way to see this as his reality was to get through to the platinum blonde herself. Whether or not she listened to him was all on her. The only thing he could do was try. Naruto felt he had it in him to give it another try. I hope I can get her away from Shikamaru long enough to talk to her. He thought. To him the pony-tailed male was an issue. Nonetheless, he had to ignore it and talk to Ino again anyway. Things were still very much unresolved between them. We'll see what happens, I guess. Unfortunately for Naruto, he would have something else to deal with before getting the chance to talk to the blue-eyed female. One day he and Sakura were entering the village. They had just returned from a last-minute mission they had gone on together. The mission was a success. The green-eyed teen said with relief. Yeah, Naruto nodded. I'm just glad it's over with. Yeah, she agreed. She had wanted to ask the blonde boy if had gotten the chance to talk to Ino at all before they left for their mission. Before she could ask him though, Naruto ended up speaking up. Let's go report to Ba-chan now. There's something I want to do after this. Sakura nodded and followed after her blue-eyed friend as he led the way to the Hokage's office. Meanwhile, the blonde-haired Hokage sat in her office gazing out of the window, her mind weighing heavily on the decision she had made a while back. She had given a lot of thought to what she had decided to do. In no means had she taken any of it lightly. A sigh escaped her and she closed her eyes. "Tsunade-sama," Shizune whispered. The black-haired woman stood gazing at the back of the chair. She knew what the Hokage was thinking about. She would always get pretty quiet when she those thoughts on her mind. "Are you absolutely sure you want to go through with this?" The hazel-eyed woman turned around in her chair. She looked up into Shizune's dark eyes. She gave a firm nod. "Yes, I've put it off long enough. I have made my choice. It's time." Before she could say any more, Naruto came bursting through the door with Sakura smiling nervously behind him. "Hey Ba-chan," he shouted and gave her a cheerful smile. Sakura grabbed her friend, placing her hand over his mouth. The last thing she wanted to do was piss Tsunade off. Sorry Tsunade Shisho." Tsunade simply nodded into both the teenagers. Surprised she didn't yell or threaten Naruto in any way. She seemed very calm, like there was something else on her mind. Something much more important. "Hey Ba-chan, are you okay?" "Yes, I'm fine." "Are you sure Ba-chan?" "I don't feel any lumps on my head." Naruto rubbed his head and let out a laugh. "How was your mission?" the blonde-haired Hokage asked, completely ignoring the boy's statement. "Oh, it went great." Naruto nodded, giving her the thumbs up. "But of course it did, I was there, right Sakura-chan?" The pink-haired teen rolled her eyes. "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm glad your mission was successful." "Sakura. Shizune, would you mind giving Naruto and I some time alone please?" Sakura blinked and so did Naruto. What did she want to talk about with him that required just the two of them? "Tsunade Shisho. I take it that won't be a problem." Sakura slowly nodded. "It's okay Sakura-chan. I'll see you later, alright?" he promised. "Okay then, bye Naruto, Tsunade Shisho," she added and then left the room with Shizune. She was sure Naruto would tell her about what happened later. Things were quiet for a while in the Hokage's office. "Naruto, sit down, okay?" Sure Ba-chan." "It saint be pretty important if you want to talk to me alone." Tsunade nodded. She wanted to talk with him, the young man, alone. What she had to say was for his ears only. It would be up to him to decide it he was going to deal with the information she was about to tell him. How have you been Naruto?" she decided to ask. "I'm fine," he nodded. Only he was getting the feeling that she was intentionally trying to make small talk. If she had something important to say, he would rather she just tell him. "Ba-chan, is there something wrong? Are you okay?" he wondered. Was she hiding a secret of some sort? Was she maybe ill, and she didn't want anyone to know but him? "Naruto," she started. "Oh my god, you're in some sort of trouble, aren't you?" "Naruto, please. What did you do Ba-chan? Did you rack up a really high gambling debt that would take the rest of our natural lives to pay off? Did you go on some sort of rampage because there was no more sake?" "Naruto, calm down. You must have been completely drunk and made some bad choices." "Don't worry Ba-chan, I'll help you somehow," he promised. A groan of frustration escaped the hazel-eyed woman. Leave it to Naruto to get carried away. "Naruto, I'm not in trouble, okay? I appreciate your concern and your willingness to help me. But I promise you I'm okay." "Oh," he sighed in relief. "Good, I'm glad. You almost had me really panicked for a minute Ba-chan." "Yes, I can see that. You were really worried about me, huh?" She gave him a small smile. Naruto nodded. Tsunade was one of his important people. In many ways she really was like a grandmother to him. How could he not be concerned about her? "Oh, come on Ba-chan, you know I care." He grinned. He didn't have to say anything else. She completely got the message. The feeling is mutual Naruto. She took a moment, gathering up her thoughts. "It's because I care so much that I'm going to tell you this. It is very important for you to learn the truth Naruto." The whisker-faced male blinked. He literally felt the serious vice in the room. Whatever she was about to tell him would be important, like she said. Naruto knew it was not the time for games. "The truth," Naruto repeated. "Yes, I need to be the one to tell you this Naruto. I wish Jiraiya could have been the one." She paused as she mentioned her late friend and teammate. "Yeah, Naruto smiled sadly. I miss Ero Sennin too, Ba-chan. It's just not the same without him. And although he should have been the one to tell you the truth, I believe that the duty falls to me now. He was my dear friend, I can do this for him. Okay. Naruto nodded. The truth about what Ba-chan? She wasn't completely sure how he would react to the news. She couldn't think of the aftermath right now. The only thing that mattered was letting him know the truth. I thought about telling you for a long time. It wasn't an easy decision to make, but you deserve to know the truth. It has been kept from you for far too long. Naruto, watch. As the blonde-haired woman stood up to retrieve a brown-colored box. She placed it on her desk. What's with the box, Ba-chan? He wondered. There are some important items in here, Naruto. It's yours, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I am about to tell you will affect you greatly. How you choose to handle the information will be in your hands. But no matter what, just know that I am here for you. She promised. Naruto didn't understand why was talking like this. He already knew he could count on her. She did not need to remind him of that. Ba-chan, I know you're here for me. What's going on though? Just tell me already. She nodded, then reached into the box and pulled out a picture. She then handed it to the whisker-faced boy. Here, take a look at it. He saw that it was a picture of the Yondaime. The Yondaime, he thought. Only in the photo the fourth Hokage was not alone. Standing next to him was a pretty red-haired woman. Naruto was sure he had never seen her before. But in the picture the two of them looked very happy. Ba-chan, why are you showing me a picture of the fourth Hokage and this woman? Naruto, don't you feel anything when you look at this picture? I told you everything in the box belongs to you. Naruto. Ba-chan. He whispered. Naruto, this is a picture of your parents. Minato Namikaze, better known of course as the fourth Hokage, and Uzumaki Kushina. While Ino had been on her way to see Tsunade as well. She wanted to make sure she had no surprise missions coming up for today. She had plans with Shikamaru and Choji, plans that she did not want to see get interrupted because of any last-minute surprises. She paused when she saw Sakura standing there. Ino. Sakura spoke. Forehead. She responded. Are you on your way to see Tsunade Shisho? I was. Ino nodded. Can we talk for a minute please? I really need you to listen to me. The platinum blonde did not speak for a minute. I don't know what else you have to say, Sakura, but I honestly don't care right now. Today is an important day. She whispered. Sakura only nodded, remembering it was the day of Asuma Sarutobi's death. Yeah, Sakura whispered. I know. I have to go. Was the only thing Ino said before walking away. Upstairs, silence filled the air in the Hokage's office. Naruto was now standing up as he gazed down at the photo Tsunade gave to him. My parents. He repeated in a low tone of voice. Yes, these are your parents. Naruto, I am truly sorry it was kept from you for so long. His eyes never left the photo. He was hunched over slightly, his hand gripped firmly onto the picture. The fourth Hokage is your father, yes. And the woman with the red hair is Kushina Uzumaki, your mother. She was a refugee from the now extinct Hidden Whirlpool village. Naruto didn't know what to feel at this moment. He had so many different emotions spinning around inside of him. Anger, joy, happiness, sadness, frustration. So many different emotions to go through in a moment's time. Naruto, I know it's a lot to take in. And it's probably hard for you to believe because it was held from you for so long. But please say something. You can't tell me this, Ba-chan. How can you just tell me this out of nowhere? He paused. You have to be making this up. Yondaime is my father and she. He stopped again. She's my mother. She wasn't really surprised he would be in denial at first. It was a normal reaction. Actually, she had anticipated something like this. Naruto, I would never lie to you, especially not about something very important like this. Didn't you ever wonder about your parents? Didn't you ever think about the people who were your family? I know you had to have some sort of questions about them. He felt some tears threatening to come down his eyes. But he wouldn't let them. Not here, not now in front of Tsunade. He couldn't let her see him break down. He clenched his fist, biting down on his bottom lip. Of course he had wondered. But to actually hear this information now, was too much to handle. He needed to get out of here right this moment. I don't know what to say. This is just too much right now. I have to get out of here. Naruto. Wait. But the young man stormed out of her office, not completely noticing he still had the picture in his hand. Naruto ran out into the hallway, running into Ino. "Naruto," she whispered as she collided with the blonde boy. "Sorry," he managed to mutter without even really looking at her. She had seen him though. The look on his face and in his eyes told her that something big had just happened. "Naruto." She watched as he quickly made his way out of the building. She took a few minutes before stepping into Tsunade's office. "Tsunade-sama." "Oh, Ino, what brings you by? I wanted to ask you something but never mind it." What happened to Naruto?" She couldn't help but be immediately concerned. A sigh escaped the older woman. "He just learned something that shouldn't have been kept from in the first place. It's a lot for him to process right now. I know he's going to need some space. But I really don't want him to be alone at this time." Ino nodded. Old see, it wasn't the time to bother Tsunade. She seemed to be very worried about Naruto. And in truth, when she saw the look on his face, Ino had become concerned as well. She then bid farewell to her Hokage and left. Once outside, she saw Sakura still standing there. "Ino, did you see what happened? Why was Naruto so upset?" Sakura had tried to talking to him, only he didn't stop once. He didn't even turn around to look at her when she had called out to him. "I don't know what actually happened," the blonde female asked. "But you saw the look on his face, right? Something is really wrong with him. I tried to stop him but he wouldn't listen." "Ino, you have to go after him." "Me?" Ino whispered. "Yes." Sakura nodded. "I don't care if you refuse to talk to him because you think that there's something going on between us. Naruto should not be alone right now. And I think he needs to be with you, in fact I know he does. You need to be the one to see how he's doing. I know you want to see him too, Ino. You can't ignore the look on his face any more than I can. Go to him," Sakura said in a firm voice. The platinum blonde knew Sakura was right. She was worried about the whisker-faced male. She did want to see him right now. Ino nodded. "He went in that direction." Sakura pointed. "I hope you can find him. I'll try to talk to him." With that, Ino ran off in the direction of where the blonde male had run off. She didn't understand why Sakura felt like she was going to be the one to get though to the blonde boy. But nonetheless she would give it a try. After all, she couldn't just forget what Naruto still meant to her. "Okay Naruto," she thought. "I'm on my way. That's it for today, I will stop here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you please consider subscribe and make sure to hit that like button, share with your friends, and don't forget to check out author of this story. Details in description.